I really enjoy the game of football. I look at the football field just like my sanctuary. I want to run it right and make sure we do what we're supposed to on Wednesday nights and make sure we do what we're supposed to on Monday and Tuesday and Thursdays at practice. Football has not only helped my young boys, but it has helped me as well. I often remember what Coach McGill said. He said, some kids need football more than football needs them. And I definitely need football at times more than I need football. It's just a blessing to get out there, man, and just enjoy the scenery and just being with the kids, man. And sometimes you may be going through something that day, man, but once I leave practice, man, I forgot all about what I was going through because it allows me to escape the cares of this world and this life, man. It's a blessing when you got a community behind you. It's great that, we're winning and the kids are starting to love winning. It's just great. Once again, football is my way to escape the things that I go through in life. Not saying that I'm going through anything harsh, but it's a blessing when I can come out here and just enjoy the kids and enjoy the game of football. Seeing somebody else's son get better, it brings joy to my heart. Just seeing a young man that may struggle on something all summer, but now at the beginning of the season, he's doing it, getting the kids in shape, and just enjoying the outdoors, man, just being here with my boys. We have our moments where we laugh and we cry, but we're our brother's keeper. And, that's just something I push in this program is brotherhood, man. I have seen kids cry. I have seen kids cry tears of joy just becoming a better football player, man. It's just awesome, man. Just being out here and supporting our fans on Wednesday nights, just looking in the stands and hearing them cheer us on. And, that is so awesome to look back and see that we have parents all lined up on the sidelines behind the fence, in Robinsonville. And even when we play our games in Williamston, how packed our games be. Oh, man, it's just so awesome how we brought two communities together, two schools that used to be rivals. Now they're all on the same sideline pushing each other. So many new friendships were made since we consolidated. With friends staying with friends over here that back in the day, probably before the consolidation, it would never happen. But I'm just enjoying the fruit of my labor, man. I'm just so happy. I'm just so blessed to lead this program. Prayerfully and hopefully when I move up to the high school, somebody else will care about the program more than me and lead this program to higher heights. So I'm just so blessed, man, to be a part of this transition with the consolidation and seeing the awesomeness that have came behind two schools coming together and seeing how our kids are working together. Man, it's just been so awesome, man. Been awesome. Hey, how you doing, Ms. Bush? It's Coach Floyd at Martin County Middle. I was calling you about the Max Factor program that's after school. Hey, I wanted to know, would you be able to meet this Thursday at 5 o'clock at South Creek Middle School for a parent interest meeting?
This is for the
Max Factor with Cornelia.
Okay, that's for the guide program, right?
Yeah, after school for all the 6th grade boys.
Okay. You said at 5 o'clock?
Yes, and look, if you can't meet...
Thursday?
Yeah, Thursday.
I work from 12 to 5 or whatever. So could it be a little bit later?
So let me check, because as of right now the average is at 5. So, okay. but what about now? We're gonna have two different meetings. We're gonna have one on a Thursday and one on that Friday. And then the one at Friday gonna be at Riverside Middle. How about Friday for you? Because we're gonna have two different dates. So if parents can't make it to the South Creek one, they can come to the Riverside one.
But see, that's the thing. I work. Well, you said Friday, right?
Yeah, we're gonna have one Thursday and we're gonna have one Friday.
Okay, I must have looked at the schedule wrong because I have two. I'm off tomorrow and I'm off Friday.
So can you come to the Riverside on Friday if you can't make the South Creek one Thursday?
You said it's at 5?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, because I want to get my baby in this program.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Okay. And let me ask you something. Do he play sports?
No, but he would love to get into sports. But the thing about that is, overall, I was a single parent for almost 2 years coming up in June.
Yes, ma'am.
So I've been trying to get him into sports. He likes basketball, football. He's like, a very outgoing person.
Okay.
He would love to do all that.
Okay, well,
I have had the opportunity to get him.
Right. Yes, ma'am. Okay, well, look, I coached the football for Martin County Middle. So, yes, ma'am. So, if he ever want to talk about playing football, I'll be working the Max Factor program after school, and I'll be working it during the summer too. So, if he wants to play, so look, what I need you to do, just do me a favor. When you get a chance, when we get off the phone call, text me his first and last name and that and what school he go to, and that you can make it Friday, okay? I'm just trying to keep a track with everybody until I learn everybody's names and numbers.
Okay.
All right.
His name?
First and last name, the school he attend,
Yes.
and the time and the day you can make the meeting.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. All right.
We here with 4-time champ RonDayle Floyd, Williamston, North Carolina, and just checking in.
Oh, yeah.
Catch up with this guy right here, special to the community.
Appreciate it.
Williamston. So yeah, you can go ahead and get the people a little bit about yourself before we get into the real interview.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm Coach Floyd, RonDayle Floyd, out of Williamston, North Carolina. Been blessed to lead this middle school program for a while now. I'm just thankful, man, for the opportunity to have a headship with the kids and coach sports, man. I've been doing football here since 2021. To God be the glory. We've been blessed to win the 4 years straight. It's been a blessing. When I took over the program, it's amazing, man, how I took over the program. I didn't even want to be the head coach, man. I wanted to learn under Coach Neal, but I had received a phone call that they were looking for coaches in the building. And I'll never forget, I was in my bathroom at home, and Hank Tice called me. And he said, they want you to be the head coach, being that you're here, you're in the building, you work at the school. I said, okay, man, I'll do it. And I was a little nervous, man. Right. You know, I was a little nervous, but I had been coaching down in Plymouth. I was blessed to learn under them guys, man, learn some things. And we took over, and that was a special season, man. That was the most remarkable season ever. Those guys will be upcoming seniors at the high school now. And that was, Josh Shepard, Chris Bell, Anthony Killebrew, Kweli Bass-Knight, who, for me, his 8th grade year was his first year playing football ever, but people don't believe it because he's so nice at the high school. Bryson Banks and Wobble, a lot of kids that were in that group, man. So that was the first group I had in middle school. And that was the first group to ever win. As when I did my homework, they would say, this is the first year ever somebody had outright won the conference without having been like split or nothing like that. So I was blessed to do it. And then we came back and did it again. The next year was a year we were young. And people said, I never forget, somebody told me this streets. He said, Floyd, we're going to see if you can coach ball now. He said, you ain't got them dogs, you got no more. And but I didn't know what type of dogs we had in that 7th grade class. And, that's Pete, who will be the starting quarterback as a sophomore this upcoming season. His twin brother, Jaden, played running back. We had a lot of kids that were good. I had also DJ Smith, Jameer Williams, Fad. They led that 7th grade group. We were 7th grade heavy. And my son, he played bunchy. We had a lot of 7th graders that played that year, man. Quanzi Harvey, DeJuan Everett, they had J-Mac, Jaden McCauley. They had to help really lead the ranks because that 8th grade group was small. But we had a lot of 7th graders, and we did it again, man. And then, that following year, we consolidated with South Creek, and we were returning a lot of dogs in that group. And then I was, with the addition of the dogs we had at South Creek, they were always special, man. South Creek was always special. They always had some dudes that can play. They just couldn't do it by themselves. They had a small team. Sometimes they would only feel like 14, 16 kids. And, you can't do it by yourself. It ain't like basketball where you got 5 or you got 11 going on both sides. Somebody's going to get tired. So when we consolidated with them, we did it again for the 3-peat. And we were blessed, man, blessed to do it for the 3-peat. We graduated a lot of talent that year as well. Pete and them was gone. And then they were like, okay, Floyd, we're going to see what you can do with this next group. I love to hear my guys talk. They said, because that was the group, and you, my witness, Caden Bland group and them was in rec. I think they only won like 1 game. And people wanted to know how they could do it in middle school. And they did it, man. Went for the 4-peat again. And we were just led again, to God be the glory. Those kids came in this weight room because they were the first group to have weightlifting out of my Riverside portion. And Coach Boone was working with my South Creek boys as well, Josiah Staten and them at South Creek. But that was the first group we had in the weight room. And that group was special because, and they still are, because they love the weight room, man. And they got linemen. Like that bus, I told people, I said, when we go places and we get off the bus going to lift up, because that's how many big boys we had up there. They were holding that bus down. We were huge. Like, we had a lot of linemen this past season. So we did it 4 years straight, man. As you can look behind me, God blessed us to do it with the plaques, man. They're going to come in here and put them on the wall after they put our other board up over here this week. And we've been blessed, man. The goal is to go for the 5-peat. We're going to be special again. Got a young group that's coming up again, but they're led by some guys like by Jeremiah Howard, who missed most of the season last year. He got hurt at practice with his hamstring before the season even started. He's about 6'2" now. He's going to be a great kid. Got an arm like Vince Young and can go get that thing like Jeremiah at Ohio State.
Okay.
And then we also got Jabbar Jenkins, who transferred in from Hobgood. He's a Martin County kid, stay right in Robinsonville, but he was going to Hobgood. And got a cannon man. He's been working with Coach Jim Bob. He sometimes works with us on Sundays to go out there and throw a few routes with the kids. Coach Takeem Freeman, he trains them. And I go out there and observe them and watch them. My son go out there and catch a few passes. So that group, they're going to be special again. We got a special rising 7th grade group that's going to be another group that's deep. You know, they play rec ball, but a lot of those kids didn't play for Williamston rec, which hurt. Right. A lot of them either play for the Hedgehogs or they play for the league in Little Washington. So a lot of times I told them, man, it's a revenge tour for y'all that lost to, Edenton, Hervey County, the Hosky Bobcats. I said, sometimes I come in here, put it on the screen, we'll play the video.
Okay.
I said, yeah, y'all remember they got y'all in rec. But I said, this is y'all get back to get them in middle school. And they get in here and pump iron, and hopefully we can do it again. 5 feet, man. That's the goal.
That's what's up.
That's the goal.
And also, just let the people know where you from, though. Where you
okay.
Yeah, where you from, and I guess where you at now too.
Okay, look, it's crazy. Some people think I'm from Williamston. Some people think I'm from Little Washington. My dad's side from Martin County. I grew up in Williamston when I was young. When I wasn't in Washington, my mom's side, I was always in Martin County with my aunt and uncle. So yeah, I graduated from Washington High School, class of 2008. Played football for Coach Sports. Sorry, ran track. But it's just been a blessing. Martin County always been like home to me, man. From my dad's side to my step family, even now my church family. So that's my life. Martin County, stay in Janesville. I've been staying there since 2015, but I was staying on this end of the county the years prior. But yeah, man, Martin County is home. You know, a lot of these kids, I knew their parents from back in the day, was acquainted with their families. So yeah, man, born and raised in Little Washington, but Martin County, it's also in me too, man. So yeah.
I got you. And so 4 championships, you only been coaching for 4 years in middle school.
Been blessed to do it 4 years straight, only coaching 4 years in middle school as a head coach. And let me backtrack
go to the other.
Let me backtrack. I started with Coach Peterson when I first came home from Fayetteville. And I'll never forget, we was at the bus garage. And he was like, man, I need you. And I helped them the first year in 2011. That was the last year we was at Williamston Middle School before we consolidated with Janesville and came Riverside. This building here. So our first year, that's when we had Jeremiah Wilson, JJ, Speedy, and we had a lot of other guys that could go. Our last year's Williamston Middle School, the middle school was still open. And man, we had some dogs. We had some dogs on that team. JJ, who was a state champion in the 100-meter dash, played quarterback for us in middle school. Right. And once he broke it, he broke it. Coach James was the office coordinator. I was learning under those guys. Coach Peterson was the defensive coordinator. Coach Geezer, and a few other Coach Crandall. And I was the youngest on the staff, man. I still have that picture. That picture's online. It kind of went viral. When I posted it, the boys saw it that was in that group, and man, they was sharing it. They was sharing it. Very special season. I think we only lost 1 game, but we had beat Union that year because that was before Washington County became Washington County Middle. They were still Union, and they were the Union Beavers, and we had went and beat them in Union. We hadn't beaten them in a long time. I think we beat them like 12-0. I still remember that, and I never forget. The championship game was against P.S. Jones, and we lost that game by a few points. But it was a split 3-way tie because P.S. Jones had lost to Plymouth, and we had beat Plymouth, but P.S. Jones had beat us. So we were tied for first place that year. And then this school opened up, and we became Riverside Middle School. And I was in school then, and it just got hectic for me, my schedule. So I left for about the 3rd game, and they took over. And then waited some years after that, man, started teaching and coaching in Plymouth. And then I came back to Martin County. Then I had my opportunity to be the first head coach here that was in the building in 2021. And the rest been history, man.
Also, you did do a little something with recreation too, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, speak from my street.
Yeah.
So in 2017, that's when Jai and them, the upcoming singing group, they was on the 10U, and we did a good job that year. We didn't make it to the Super Bowl, but man, they put a stamp that year. Killer Brew and Jai with my 2 tailbacks. On that 10U team, and we had a kid named I think his name was Matt Gerganis. Yes, Matt. and he was our quarterback. We had my boy Antoine Black. I called him AB. He's going to be a rising senior at North Lenore. He was good too, but he moved with his mom down there. I think his dad still stay in Martin County. I would love to have him back. But yeah, man, people don't understand. Like Vance Keel, who was the starting running back at Baggrass, who was a star. He was also our quarterback that would come in and switch up and run the ball. So, man, Martin County, man, Gaylord Perry Park has some studs to come through that program, man. A lot of kids started off there and they end up moving. But, man, y'all have produced, and I commend y'all, man. I still remember the day when you signed Josh Shepard up. I remember you took him up there and signed him up. And, you know, you don't forget them beginnings, man. I still remember that day, man. And he been running that football here since, man. I don't know. And I want to say, man, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say that was Josh's first year playing football. Yeah, he was playing out Willow, playing with the boys. They were getting him right. But when you went up there and signed him up, man, that was a game changer. And he been playing football ever since. Coach Torrey had him playing quarterback when he was in 12U. People don't know Josh can throw that thing too, man. And, man, that was just special, man. We got a lot of kids, man, that was good when they was there at that age that moved away, man. If we could get some of them kids back, I'm telling you, they got to run, man. I'm telling you. But it's been great, man. But those recreation days were great to me. And I'm gonna tell you something. I ain't ashamed to say it. That second year we didn't win a game. I still remember that. Haunt me to this day. But I was able to give those kids a championship in middle school. So, you know, we didn't win no game that next year. It was a learning year. We had a lot of new kids, big learning curve. And that's why I stay humble to this day, because I know what it felt like as a coach not to win. You know, I know most coaches won't tell you they bad years, but I'm not ashamed to tell it. Those were the years where I said, Lord, you know what? It was a prayer I told God. I said, God, I want you to put me around the best coaches and teachers and resources so I could be the best teacher and coach I could be. And that was one of my prayer streets, and he took me straight to Washington County. I went under Coach Cody, Coach KJ Hunt, and Coach Crossan, and I learned. Like I said, like you could teach me and you don't even know you're teaching me just by me sitting back and observing. And I was able to work with Hunt with the line, because the line is the most important piece of the team. And I also got to hear Coach Cody talk about the 33 stack and things of that such. And that was a blessing to me, man. And ever since that day, during the pandemic, you know, a lot of people lost their lives during the pandemic, but during the pandemic, I studied a lot of football. I stayed in the house. I ordered books. I learned football, what coaches say, hard mode, where you got to learn on your own just about. I stayed in the house, stayed on a lot of online clinics, and Coach McGill was a blessing to me when I left Washington County. He was the one that got his hands on me to teach me to spread. I used to hate the spread, man. I ain't like throwing the football. But Coach McGill got his hands on me, man, and really showed me some pieces of what I could do in the spread and what you could still do if you were under center. But look, we're going to spread the field a little bit. And then when Coach Jimbaugh came to town, he used to work right here at the middle school. His office was right up the hall, and I was right down the hall from him. Every chance I get, I was picking his brain. And one thing I love about Coach Jimbaugh, he texted me today. It was so crazy. He texted me today. He'll text me out of the blue. People don't know that, man. Coach Jimbaugh been a blessing, man. He'll reach out to me, he'll teach me some stuff, share things with me. And Coach Herbie, Rod, before he passed, he was subbing here in the building. You know, he won 2 state championships with Williams and helped take him to the state championship multiple times. But, you know, they didn't always come home with a dub. He got 2. And he would put stuff on index cards for me, write it down for me, teach me, taught me how to skip pull right in the cafeteria during lunch duty. You know, I learned all that stuff, man. I humbled myself and allowed those guys to teach me and took heed to it, man. And going back to Coach McGill, he taught me the 3-4 defense, man. Really taught me how to, you know, fill gaps and how to blow the offensive lineman off the ball and who got who and coverages. Coach McGill taught me a lot of that, man. Because, you know, when I helped him that one season during the pandemic, you know, we didn't have 11 coaches like we did in Washington County. In Washington County, when you went to practice, it was set up like a college. They had coaches at each station. When I got Coach McGill, it was like 3 of us. I think it was 3 that season. It was me, Coach McGill, and Coach Tremaine. So I had to learn more stuff. And Plymouth, I could just go work with offensive linemen. Right. When I got back to Riverside, shoot, Floyd, you got to do it all, baby. And that was a blessing, man, because it opened my mind up. Now I can work with corners, linebackers, D-line, offensive linemen, quarterback. You know, I can work with that stuff now. So, yeah, man, I give heritage and respect to those guys that definitely helped me along the way. I don't mind sharing my bad years. I don't mind because I know where I come from. And the good Lord bless me, man, to be around some good coaches to teach me something, man.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's respect. Also, family life though. Like, just brief though. Like, I know you got how many kids?
Oh yeah, man.
Or you know.
Yeah, I got 2 girls. My baby girl Jaya, she go to EJ Hayes. She in 5th grade. Carmen, she goes to school here at Riverside Middle School in 7th. She plays basketball. And my son, RonDayle, most people call him Bunchy. He was also part of this success we had here. He started his 7th and 8th grade year in middle school football, receiver and corner. And he plays at the high school now at Martin County High. Did a great job, man. I'm proud of my boy, man. Had a great freshman year. Some games he wore number 4, some games he wore number 42 when he would play varsity on Fridays. So I'm proud of him, man. God has been blessing that boy. Played basketball. He usually played track and baseball, but we took off this spring so we could focus on some other things. But I'm proud of him, man. My wife, she's from here. She cheerleaded here, right here in Martin County. So yeah, man. I'm a family man, man. I tell people all the time, if you don't catch me at the school, you don't catch me on the football field, you don't catch me in the weight room, I'm either going to be at home with my family or at church. So that's my life, man. Yeah, that's me, big dog.
What made you go into coaching?
I went into coaching because I had some coaches in my life that was inspirational. It started with rec. It started with the rec program in Little Washington. I played for the Washington 49ers. Coach Harry Wilkins and Coach Blunt. They were very inspirational guys at a young age, father figure guys, man. Both of them was in church, but they did not play, man. You know, Coach Blunt, we were scared of Coach Blunt. He would build old school, big chest. Every game, if we scored 38, 40-some points, he'd get them down on the ground, hit push-ups out. Coach Wilkinson, he was very strict. He was the ISS teacher at P.S. Jones. So if you cut up at school, he was going to get you and your mom was going to know about it. But, yeah, they was very great guys in my life. And then not only them, but Coach Sawyer. Coach Sawyer, my high school coach, was a father figure. He was the type of guy, he could get on me. I never disrespected him. I never snapped back at him. He was the type of coach, man. If I thought I was going to walk away while he was talking, he was like, get back down here. And I walked right back beside him, too. You know, but he was the guy, he'd take me home after practice, talk to me. He was just their father. And what I love about Coach Sawyer, the same things he did with me, I kind of do today. Like, he didn't allow you to talk to your coaches, his assistant coaches or him like you were cool with the boys. He'll check you quick. He'll be like, look, we your coach. We ain't the boys now. And, you know, that father figure, man, I'm like, man, you know what? I want to do that one day. And even when I was younger, like I have visions of me coaching football. I never forget the first time I drove a football player. We was outside on the field at school, and I never forget Brian Gardner. And I drew up crossbuck, but it was a crossbuck instead of the quarterback keeping it. We did a crossbuck reverse. And I never forget, it was wide open touchdown. He looked at me, I'll never forget. He said, man, you need to be a football coach. And I'm talking about, bro, I wasn't even probably 11. I probably about 9 or 10 then. And I always found time to write plays out, even when I was in high school. I never forget, the boys told me one time, they were like, Floyd, you need to show that Coach Sawyer. And even when I got to college, even when I was doing my thing, doing what I was doing before I got married, I still would find time to write out football plays. I always done it. And yeah, man, but just being that father figure, that role model, and movies like Remember the Titans with Herman Boone, one of Martin County finest. You know, he's from Rocky Mount, but his pillar was here in Martin County, coaching at E.J. Hayes. You know, he coached a lot of my wife, family members, her uncles, her Uncle Richard and them, Uncle Arthur and them. And, you know, one of her uncles played for the Kansas City Chiefs. He coached him. My wife's grandmother even went to E.J. Hayes. My pastor went to E.J. Hayes. And they said Coach Boone was a father figure. You know, he was the type of guy, he ain't played. They told me the example how he'll take his assistant coach and go through the streets of Williamston to make sure all the boys were in the house. Want no staying out late, you know, out tired. And, you know, that's a father figure, man. Like, you know, being in that, you know, influenced over the young boys, man. So I always wanted that, man. Not saying so much that I want to be superior or wanted power over someone, but being that example, being that role model. You know, kids need it, man. Most kids don't have father figures at home. And, you know, if I can be that one that bridge that gap, man, that's what I'm going to do. So just being a people's person, those things that I just said, those key elements, man, that's the reason why I want to become a football coach, man.
Growing up, did you have any father figures or mentors?
Most definitely, man. My Uncle Willie was a great influence in my life, man. You know, me and my stepdad were close, but me and my Uncle Willie was real close. You know, he'd been in my life since I was a baby, you know, before I could even think, walk, or talk for myself. So, you know, my Uncle Willie, you know, had me out there cutting grass, working around the house, you know, make sure I wasn't doing nothing I ain't had no business doing. I remember going to the parties at the Armory. him bringing me in the house, checking me, make sure I won't smoking or doing that I ain't had no business doing. But he was that guy that was just tough on me about responsibility, man. And I thank my uncle for that. You know, I always go back to him and my Aunt Shanique. They was the first ones that really got me to the point where I started loving kids the way I did. Because my Aunt Shanique owned a home daycare before she got a building up here by the old Bagleys. Well, she had plenty of buildings before then, but, you know, I seen her start right at her home with her home daycare, helping her during the summer when I stayed in Little Washington, but being down during the summer, helping her with the kids, if I had to cut the grass, help her anything she needed. And that's why I developed my love for kids, man. I seen times, man, right at my aunt's house, having football camps right outside. I used to have the kids, girls and boys, playing football. You know, my little cousin Jalen Brown and Deja Moore. You know, I even remember Jadakiss Bonds being to the house. You know, he spent summers with me at my Aunt Shonique's house, and he was dedicated, man. He was the type of kid, it could be hot outside. He'd be like, RonDayle, can you go outside and work with me? Like, he always had that drive about him ever since he was small. So, you know, I always recollect, man, so many athletes that came at my aunt's house, man, and we were out there playing basketball or football. So that stuff kind of grew up in me at a young age, man. So I really dedicate that to my Aunt Shonique because she was the one that really started that seed in me with loving kids, man. So she always had a passion for kids, and it just grew up in me. But I wanted to just come home and be a school teacher. I always wanted to be in the school system and be a football coach. So her and my Uncle Willie, my mom, and a lot of great people in my life, even my pastor now, you know, they're a great influence in my life about leaving a legacy and the life that you live before people let it speak, you know, values. So I'm just blessed, man, with the mentors I had, man. My uncles, my mama brothers, my dad brothers. So I'm just thankful, man. Yeah, I had some solid mentors. And even people that's mentors to me now, like Coach McGill, you know, Hank Tice helped me when he was here, Herbie Rogers before he passed, you know, Jim Ball Bryant. You know, I got people in my corner that I can reach out to for any insight about football or what I need. Me and Jim Ball talk often, man. Sometimes he'll just text me out of the blue, man. He'll send me some stuff. So that, and me and Coach McGill talk like every day. It ain't a day that go by me and him don't talk. So that's a blessing, man. I got some solid people in my corner. You know, Coach McGill is you know, he started here. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Coach McGill was like the first black head coach in for Williamston in a long time. And I don't even know if he was the first or was a long. I think he was the first. If I'm not mistaken.
I think he was the first too. I ain't sure.
I think he's the first because I think Miss Renee Purvis did a little article online for him about that. So you know, and his third year, his first year he did good. His second year they did great, and the third year they went to the state championship. So you know, I learned a lot of ball from Coach McGill. You know, he can tell. You know, a lot of that stuff, man. He taught me like the 3-4 defense and getting his hands on me with the spread. Because I tell people all the time, I did not like the spread at first. You know, I was an under center power guy. So, yeah, man, I've been blessed with some great mentors, man.
Would you rather have somebody that's gifted or somebody with a lot of heart?
So, yeah, man, I had some prime example about some kids that are just gifted and some kids that just have heart. I've seen some kids that have been playing football since they were young. And I've seen some kids that have never played football supersede them because of the heart and the mentality that they had. So, for example, like I always use Quali Bass Night. We had a few. He was a young man. He was just. It's amazing to say, man. He just had heart, man, and he was also gifted. Don't get me wrong. See, sometimes in life, your heart can bless you to open doors to be gifted. Some kids are gifted, but they still have fear. Like some kids have been playing football for a long time. They go to camps, they do drills, but they still don't have that heart when it counts. I've seen kids that were gifted break down when we really needed them to rise to the occasion. They didn't have the heart to help them supersede that. Like, and I'm talking about gifted, can take a football and do what he want with it. But a kid that got heart, he gonna keep pushing no matter how it may turn out. He may not be good at first, but he gonna keep pushing until he get better. So that's a good question, man. Like a kid sometimes that is gifted, he may have heart to go along with it, or he may just be a kid that's gifted, but when things don't go his way, his ship start to sink. But a kid that got heart, you know, he may not be athletically gifted at first, but when he finally get the nail, he got it, man. He just got it. And Quali was that kid, man. I'll never forget, he caught some interceptions his first year. He scored some touchdowns. And I never forget when we switched the defense around, went to the 3-4, he caught 3 interceptions. Matter of fact, you recorded that game. He caught 3 interceptions that game. He didn't do too good against Chowan because we had just switched the defense, went to the 2-high safety. And he struggled that game. But that next game against Bertie, his heart helped him just push through. I said, look, Chowan was Chowan. That was that game. That next game, man, he went off 3 interceptions, man. So that's a good question, man. I'd rather have You know, it's a blessing to have a kid that's gifted. But football is not like basketball. I commend all basketball coaches. Because if you don't have a kid that's gifted enough to bring that ball up court, your whole offense can spoil.
Right.
But in football, if my quarterback can't throw, but he can run, we still can play football. Right. If he can't throw or run, he can hand the ball off like Tarboro. So, you know, I look at it from all angles. Football is probably the only sport I know, man, where baseball, if you ain't got a pitcher, they're going to hit across the fence every time.
Check out Worthy Attractions. T-John, Lee Floyd. She can pretty much create anything you do, from tumblers, coffee mugs, T-shirts, hoodies, license plates, anything you need. Check out her. She'll get you right. She'll put you in the game. We'll have the link in the description.
In baseball, you may can hit the ball, but if you ain't hitting home runs, then you can't run to first base. But football is the only sport I know, man, where you can use a team effort to help hide the weaknesses of everybody. And I heard a lot of coaches say that. My quarterback, like this past season, I was blessed to have Thomas Wheeler. We went down to our third string quarterback. Jeremiah Howard got hurt. We ended up, Cofield ended up playing receiver for us. But we had to go down to our third string quarterback. And Thomas didn't have a real strong arm, but he could get the job done. So he had heart. He had heart. He was little, but people don't know this. He played linebacker too. He would hit you. He had heart. But he wasn't gifted enough to throw them deep passes like most quarterbacks. But he got the job done. He could remember the plays. He could lead the team, hand the ball off, give it to Craig when Craig needed it. He can hand the ball off on jet sweep when Josiah needed it. He could throw the short bobbles and the short screens. But he never got down on himself. He knew he couldn't throw the deep balls like Jason Shepard and Pete did. But he had heart to know, like, Coach Floyd, I'm going to do whatever you need me to do, and I'm going to do it. And he proved it. Strong in the weight room too, Streets. Strong in the weight room, but he just didn't have that cannon like my older quarterbacks had. But the kid had the heart. He wasn't gifted with a natural slinger like Cofield and them, but he could take that team and he could keep the whole team together. He can construct everybody, and he led our offense to win games. And people talk good about him. People didn't even know he was our third string quarterback, man. People said, man, is that little quarterback you got coming back? I said, nah, he ain't great, he leaving. But people didn't know he was our third string. We had went down to our third string quarterback, and he just led us to the over the hump because he had heart, man. So to answer your question, man, make a long story short, give me somebody that got heart, man.
Are you a coach that want to just develop the great athlete, or you more so want to develop the young man?
The young man, man. The young man, because at the end of the day, I'm going to have you in middle school for only 2 years. You're going to spend 4 years in high school, and I pray and hope you live to be 70, 80, and 90 years old, and that's going to be an extra 30 or 40 years of your life when you ain't playing sports, if you don't go to college and play sports. So if we're going to help change our society, man, these kids in middle school now, helping him develop his character and his well-being as a human being, man, that's going to help him in society, man. And see, that's what we need, man, 'cause a lot of times, you know, it's easy to put a ball in a child's hand, man, but you got to help develop that character, man. There's been kids, man, that went off to college and they couldn't stay because their character. I tell my young boys this, man. Your education can get you in the door. Let's just say if you're a bookworm and you smart. Your education can get you in the doors, but your character is what's going to keep you behind that door. Because if you get in there and you got a snobby attitude, you don't know how to treat people, they're going to kick you out. I tell my young boys this. There's people in prison that made straight A's in school. They just made dumb choices. So as an individual, my thing is to help them with their character and help develop them how to be respectful. I tell them now, you get in trouble now in school, you get sent to ISS or you get OSS. You break the laws of the land when you become a man, you're going to either go to jail or prison. Right. So it's like a stair step. So I got to teach them individually. I tell my young boys, if you cut up in school, you get suspended from school, you can't help your brothers on Wednesdays. You suspended. I got to wait till you come back that following week. Now, I've seen time to school suspended a young man for one game, but I gave him an extra game. Just the way he did was stupid. You know, I taught him that lesson. When he came back, he was a dog. Because you got to understand how precious it could be, man, to get something snatched from you, man, because you out here clowning, you ain't doing like you supposed to. And I thank God for being that bridge to help them cross that water so they won't throw their life away, man. So, yeah, man, I like to develop the young man more so than developing the athlete.
How big do the weight room play a factor in your program?
Hey, I'm going to tell you something. The weight room was a blessing, man. Like, I'm telling you right now, I commend and I admonish what Tarboro does. Weight room. Weight room, man, that's the standard, man. People can front, act like how they want to act, but Tarboro is the standard when it comes to taking the weight room to the grass. And that's what you want to do, man. Even when your years where you don't have a lot of talent coming through here, if your kids are strong up front and you just strong, I can basically do what I want to do to your offense and your defense. This past season, people, even though we scored a lot of points, we scored the most points we ever scored this past season. And to be honest, we had less talent. We didn't have a lot of skill guys, Street. I had to take a lineman. Craig was a lineman. His 7th grade year, he played right guard and he played defensive end. And you know Craig all through rec played line. We had to take Craig and put him at running back because we didn't have that many skill guys. So what happened was, when I noticed my skill guys were getting lax, God bless us at the right time, Miss Russia said, we want a weight room. I'll never forget, she told Dr. White too, and I had brought it up. She was like, I want to get a weight room here. Weight room was a blessing to us because we were just so strong. We weren't fast. Craig wasn't very fast, but Craig had very strong legs and he ran hard. And kids didn't want to tackle Craig. And I'm going to just be honest with it. They didn't want to tackle Craig because we were so strong. Caden Bland, Amari Bass Knight, those guys were strong, man. And it took out, we scored 60 points on Washington County, and we just ran power and counter. I mean, we were just so strong up front, man. And the kids did what we were supposed to do, man. And but the weight room has taken our program to another level, man. And the biggest thing right now is trying to get my kids at South Creek to get in the weight room over there because they don't have it set up like we have set up. You know, they still got a PE teacher. We got actually 2 PE jobs here, but I don't know if they just got 1. So my kids from South Creek don't necessarily get the lift like my boys at Riverside do. But we're working on it. I got a lot of them that they want to transfer right now and come over here. So, and we do, man. We got a lot of South Creek kids that go to school at Riverside. You know, we school of choice now. As long as your parents can get you the transportation to come here, you can come here.
Okay.
And if you in the MEMS program or you AIG, you automatically come here. Like, they're going to provide transportation. But if you just a kid that just want to go to school here, your parents got to provide transportation. So getting them in the weight room, man, that's a blessing. I seen, man, you'd be amazed how many times I go back and watch that Corvin versus Tarboro state championship. And I just see how Tarboro blow them off the ball. And that's weight room, man. That's weight room. So weight room had taken our program from here.
And also with the weight room, how has it changed since the first day you got here? Because I'm sure they might not have been lifting weights when you first got here. So how has the environment changed in the weight room? How have things changed in the weight room for the kids in Martin County, like middle school?
They love it, man. They love it. Man, on max out days, you can hear the kids talking friendly junk to each other. Like, I got one of my 8th grade classes that go against the other 8th grade class, because we got 2 different classes. And man, they talk junk. Like, they want to find out what Caden Bland did. So Amari and them kids in that next class, Javion and Craig and them competed. And it's a friendly culture, but it's competitive. And I love it, man. Like, they talking about it in class, like teachers talking about, boy, Floyd, he came in here and that's all he was talking about, what he matched. Man, I got daddy sending me pictures, or no, actual videos of their son hand cleaning in the living room. So we changed not just the school culture, but their environment and our young boys in Martin County. We getting them love in the weight room again. Right. When kids come to me and say, Coach Floyd, my daddy said he give me a weight set. He about to get my bar today and he gonna get me such and such later. They let me know I'm starting to get their mind. Because I observe the Tarboro guys, like they live outside of school. You know, that's when you know it's in your heart. When you put in that work outside of school, or like right now we're on spring break and you still going to Gaylord, my young boys in the group chat, Dwayne Ragland, one of my 6th grade, he's gonna be a rising 7th grade. He's gonna be good too. He played Little League in Washington though. Coach Floyd, I'm going to the weight room today at Gaylord. Like, that's when they starting to love it. They starting to love it. So that's the culture. It has changed to the fact my young boys, they want to do this either whether they're in school or out of school. And it's going to help them because you got most grown men can't bench press 225. If you go on my Facebook page, Caden Bland like to throw it through the ceiling. You know, I mean, and I told them when they get back, you're going to see some 5-gallon buckets in here too. We're going to go a little lower on our squats so we can get them hips more explosive. But they loving this stuff so much, man, they want to do it at home now. When you love something, man, you doing it at home and not just in school, it's in you. So when they get to high school, prayerfully and hopefully Coach Willis stay there for a long time, and it keeps them boys going. Keeps them going. I'm going to tell you, the boys at Tarboro love that weight room now. And that's what I'm trying to do in middle school. I'm trying to get my kids to the point where they love it, man. They fall in love with hard work, man. And then you're going to have make some men in the community that's strong when you're going to make some strong young men when they go out here in the real world, you know. Teaching his brother how to push through that last set. Even when he want to give up, he going to push through that last set. And he going to remember when he become a man, I want to give up. But no, bro, push. You push when you was in middle school pumping that iron. So you push through life, man. Don't give up on life. Like I take the weight room culture and apply it to life. Like he might not get pushed at home. He might not have a dad at home, going back to father figures. He may not have a dad at home to push him, but he got some brothers in the weight room that push him. So whether I push you with just the weight room, push you on the football field, push you with conditioning, you're going to learn how to push, man, in life, man, and not give up, man. So it's a mentality we're trying to change here in Martin County.
Winning the championship 4 years in a row. Like, you know, I know they hating to lose, so they over there trying to figure out how can they beat you? How can I beat this man? But again and again, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, going for 5. Like, I mean, like, what's the expectations for the 5th year?
Oh yeah, man. keep it. But it's amazing that you said that. Most of the time, every year I try to put in a new wrinkle. And what I mean by that is I do something a little different every year, man. A lot of times they be like, man, dude, don't run jet sweep and counter. But we throw a lot of different passes off jet, and we run a lot of different run plays off jet. So every year I give them something a little different. Like this past season was the first year, man, where I ain't never run my quarterback. We ran him one time. That was the first game against Chowan. After that, I didn't run him no more. And I think we ran Zaire the last game when he popped. Thomas popped the tendons out his arm. One of his tendon had popped in his arm, and Zaire ran for a touchdown. But this was the first season, man, that I never ran my quarterback like that. 2 runs the whole season. And so we had to come with some new stuff. And we ran trap more. We used to run same side counter a lot. So when I didn't have a running quarterback, I'm going to give y'all a few nuggets out there. You coaches that's been looking at us. We put in same side trap. So that was a hitter for us. So once I knew my tailback had to tote the load, man. So that's the biggest thing, man. Every year give them something new. All right. So that's right now with the receiving core we got coming back, we're going to be tall. Our receivers going to be tall this year. Quarterback going to be an athletic kid that's fast back there. They got a cannon. So the thing about with Jabari is, and let me back up, Streets. We got 2 good quarterbacks. Jeremiah Howard, the kid I told you is about 6'2", muscular. Yeah. Cannon can run like Vince Young. So we got 2 good quarterbacks that can run this year. Both got cannons. So, but the thing about Jeremiah Howard is he's a deep ball threat, and he can jump. He can go up and get that thing, man. So for the 5th championship, it's going to look smooth. For the people that's out there, like you said, that's preparing for us, they're going to think we're going to come out with a lot of stuff that we used to do, and they're going to find out, man, Floyd really putting the ball in the air a lot this year. So that's what I want to do. I want to throw the ball a lot more this year in the air. We put in a lot of concepts this past season, which we did complete a lot of passes. Chance Masterson was a big jump ball guy for us, man. Every ball that touched his hand, he came down with it. I went back and looked at film. He never dropped a pass that touched his hand. If the quarterback may have underthrew him or overthrew him, that wasn't on him. But when the ball touched Chance Masterson's hand this pass, he caught everything. And the difference in Chance and Jeremiah is Chance is big as well, but Jeremiah, he's a leaper. Chance was a strong young man. But Jeremiah, he can leap too, man. He can get up, but he don't play basketball. That's the thing. He run track, but he don't play basketball. So I'm expecting great things from our offense and defense this year. So for the guys that's out there that that's looking for us to do it for the 5th year, we're gonna be all right, man. We're gonna be all right. We're gonna be fine, man.
I got you. Yeah, you're a great coach. And like you said, if they don't know what you're doing, they can't stop you. Like Nate said, and
I want y'all to understand when I say we were kind of like an NFL team. We changed our defense up every week to whoever we were playing. That's how much talent we had. We had so much talent every week. God rest his soul, Herbert Rogers. God bless his soul, one of the best coaches I've ever been. He told me, he said, you can't stop somebody until you know what they're doing to you.
The team last year, like you said, they came off wreck, didn't win a game. I want to say the team last year.
Mm-hmm. They had won 1 game when they
played wreck.
When they played wreck.
And I mean, you did your thing with that. Y'all didn't lose a game. But have you had any games where y'all was facing like adversity where y'all was losing in them years, like the 4 years of being undefeated? How do you prepare your teams to handle that adversity, especially when you win every game? How do they handle that? How do you get them prepared for that?
And man, that's amazing that you asked that question. I'll never forget. And it seemed like every time we played against Chowan from our 2nd year, when Pete was in 7th grade, we were down. He threw an interception. The kid from Chowan ran it back, pick 6. And they were young. They could have hung their heads, but I told them we're going to be fine. And Pete was a runner. And I told him, I said, look, you can do it with your feet too. And I'll never forget, we were down 6-0. They didn't get the 2-point conversion. And we called Jet. I'll never forget, it was left night, Jet, Q Plymouth. And there was quarterback power left. And he took it to the house. And it sparked the whole sideline. Because at first, people were down. To like it stuck a knife in us. The whole sideline went down when Chowan caught the pick six. Right. And if you recorded that game too, man. You were there. And you could look on Chowan's side. They were hype. And I'll never forget seeing Randy over there fixing his arms. Yeah. That's my buddy, though, the head coach with Chowan. And I said, okay, they thought they were in the game. And I'll never forget that game, Streets, because they were calling out our plays. We did hand signals that year. And I'll never forget, every time I would call my signal, you would hear them calling out. So we start huddling it up, and that's how we kind of got over that hump. But now I do wristbands now. With that group, they were special. The 8th grade year, because the 8th grade year, we did signals and we did wristbands. Okay. But get back to that, man, we ended up winning that game to beat Chowan for the 2nd year in a row. And Pete in them 8th grade year, they scored on and they jumped out on us first. And for 2 years straight, man, Chowan jumped out on us first, man. And thank God, man, just encouraging them. Keeping them pumped, man. Don't let your head down. We got a lot of game left, and I preach that during the week. Hey, I got to find out at practice, and this is my little saying. People know I say this. It's gonna be time to separate the champs from the chumps, the mama boys from the mama boys, and the wimps from the winners. That's just the mindset. Because when you get down, are you gonna pout? No, sir. Are you going to cry? No, sir. Are you going to go out there and look in the stands at your mama and them because we down by 2 touchdowns? No, sir. We're going to find a way to come back and win. Whether we got to get an onside kick, we got to strip the ball and take it from the house. We work on those drills at practice. And every year, man, we always find a way to run an onside kick back on Chowan. They always try to find some type of way. And they always give. I was sitting there thinking about that, Streets. Every year, they did it when Pete was in 8th grade, Quay took it to the house, it changed the energy of the game. Right. They did it this past year with Bryson Jones, first year ever playing football. They don't even know this. That was his first year ever playing football, and he scored his first touchdown on an onside kick. They scooped it up and we ran it. 2 years, we have done that on Chowan, and it has changed the sideline for us. So we have had our down moments, man. We have had them. But, you know, when you look at the scoreboard and you look, when I post on Facebook and I say, to God be the glory, we won again. If you weren't there, you would have never saw it, man. But we have been down before, man. We have, and we just overcame adversity. And that's just through the culture of what we do, man, at practice. Not letting you come out there and whine when stuff don't go your way. You got to know how to fight through it, man. And when you become a man, and that goes back to me with these life lessons with my boys. I said, when you become a man, and they send that bill to your house, either you going to cry out or you going to try to find a way, in a positive way, to make something happen for your family. I told my young boy years ago, I said, the man, cut your lights off, cut your water out, what you going to do? You going to try to find a way for your family to make a way? I mean, find a way. And, you know, I teach that to them now because when they become men, I want them to hear my voice. When times get tight, when times get rough, because Floyd used to tell us, find a way. And you got to find a way. And that's how it is during the game, man. You got to find a way.
How do you deal with unruly parents that's in the program that may, cause trouble, cause issues, just things that the kid ain't even really worried about, but they can't see it from a coach perspective or the right perspective that you see it in because you've been coaching, you've been doing this for years. Right. All they see is this day baby. They want their baby to play and all this. And, you know, or if you losing the game, now it's on you or whatnot. So, yeah, how do you deal with unruly parents?
So, man, dealing with unruly parents, man, it's just, it is a tough job because I don't really like competition. I mean, it's life. You're going to deal with it. But, for example, you know, our 7th graders, we have parents where their child want to play on the middle school football team. You know, it's just an opportunity for them. They're excited about being on the middle school football team. To God be the glory because we win. But at the end of the day, you want your son to get reps. If your son can go and help our rec program out, let him go help our rec program. Like, for example, this past season, we had a big team. This past season was the biggest team I ever had. I think we had over 40 kids. And for a parent to fuss because their 7th grade son don't get playing time when you had the opportunity to go to get a little period part to help our rec program out. And he can get more reps because he's probably going to start on offense and defense. I would rather for you to do that than, you know, to be griping about playing time. Now, like this past season, I had 8th graders that were good first string, second string, and third string. So it may at times been hard for certain seventh graders to get on the field, unless you were a dog. I'm just gonna be honest with you. But that's my note, and I'm glad you give me this platform to do it, man. To all my parents out there, if you know, like I had one mom to call me, she said, Coach Floyd, we're going to sit out this season. We're going to just go play rec. Because she knew her son wasn't ready. But that's a great mom, because if you know your baby's not ready and she know that he needed to get more reps at rec before he went to the 8th grade, or, you know, because he was going to be in the 8th grade this upcoming season, that's a blessing, man. I don't want no young man on the team that just want to be on the team because we win. I want you to be on the team because I know, for one, you're a team player. And you know you're going to come out here and give me your all. But, you know, you get some parents that be in the stands, you know, they say things and try to run you down. But at the end of the day, it's going to always be somebody. You know, I'm out here being a father figure. I'm out here being a role model. You know, you go to some practices doing AAU or something. Man, they cussing them kids slam out. I don't do it, but give these kids love. And you trying to find a reason to say something on me. But, hey, at the end of the day, man, you know, you just got to deal with this life. They do it at the high school level. You know, you got high school coaches. I talked to a coach one time that coached on Tarboro style. He said the Tarboro fans be fussing because they don't throw the ball. And the man goes to the state championship every year. Man win the state championship just about every year. It's going to always be something. Why that man need to throw the football and he running it down people's throat? You know, you do what you do. You know, why you always run your quarterback? I mean, you look at the NFL, college, they do that, streets. So, you know, it's going to always be somebody that got something to say. You have some kids that may miss practice during the week. If I was like who I used to be, I probably would kick them off and say, go home because you don't come to practice. But me being the father figure I am, I know I would rather for him to stay on the team so he won't get out there in the streets and do nothing while his mom and dad at work. And sometimes parents don't even know. Why my baby ain't playing? Your baby missed 3 practices. Oh, he did. Yes, ma'am. So that's maybe. He can't keep up with his helmet, can't keep up with his mouthpiece. So he at practice, he left his helmet at home, which he should have left it in the locker room, or he can't find it. He should have been getting reps at practice, but he can't because he ain't even got a helmet. Or he left his cleats in the backseat of his mama's car. So now, little Antoine gonna step up and get his spot this week. So it's a lot that goes into that playing time. And you know, my groups to tell you, my 8th grade boys, they'll tell you, they'll speak up. They're like, Coach Floyd, he ain't got this stuff. You know, they leaders, man. Like, I love that group, man. They know who's dedicated and they know who's not. You know, my boys, they came to practice on Thursdays after we won on Wednesday to watch film. And we know who want to try to skip practice and go home. But I've been blessed with some great parents too, man. Like, I have some parents that'll defend me, man. Like, I had one mom, she said, Coach Floyd, I defended you. She said, one mom was trying to run you down, and I know that you good for these boys. And she said, I let her know. My son didn't play much his 7th grade year, but he never missed a practice, and he was a dog this past season for me. So, you know, you got some parents that'll defend you, man, you know, that'll take up for you too, man, because they know what you stand for. You know, I appreciate my mamas and my daddy that defend my name when I'm not in rooms or places where I can't defend myself. So, you know, it's a blessing, man. So, you know, you still got to love the parent, because sometimes you don't want it to change your relationship with the child. You know, I don't want it to the point where I got a parent that's on my back, or we had to get down, talk about this because you mad in the stands or something, and then it's going to change my love towards the child. No, that ain't what we doing. So a lot of times as a parent, like my son, and I say this on camera, it have been times, you know, Bunchy did great on JV, but some nights on Friday nights he didn't play, and he would try to get in the car and complain about. I said, shut up, I don't want to hear it. You need to work harder at practice. When you get that ball next time, you need to run a little harder. I'm gonna tell you, a football coach want to win. He gonna put his dogs in. And right about the end of the season, you notice I seen you put my baby on Street Dot Nation a lot when he was on varsity as a freshman, catching a lot of passes and getting upfield. I didn't feed into that negativity, and he want to come home and pout and talk about the coach. I ain't feeding that mess. But that's life. When you come home, man, my boss on my case today, daddy. What? You gotta work. You got a family. You gotta provide. So, you know, at the end of the day, man, you just gotta, as a parent, don't never let them come home and pout. You gotta ask your child, what are you doing to get Coach Floyd's attention? Like, what are you doing? I'm pretty sure Coach Floyd want to win, and you're a dog, he gonna put you in. You know, I had a mama, like, my mama was tough. My mama didn't let me come home and pout and talk about my coach. It just, my mama was tough like that. And, you know, I've been blessed. So, you know, I still love my parents that may have talked about me and may have drug my name. Because at the end of the day, 5-6 years from now, we're going to look back on it and we're going to laugh about it. But at the end of the day, I still got to push forward hard for the kids, you know. And most of the time, it's maybe a young man who's might well keep it real. He close to his mom or mama. Well, he might went home, pouted to his mama, and mama got in her feelings, and then she maybe felt some type of way and said something. But at the end of the day, I love all my parents. I love my kids. So, you know, you just have good meetings with your unruly parents. You talk with them and express to them, you know, what's going on. Because I had a mama to call me one time. She didn't know her son was going home after school or missing practice. She didn't know. By the time she get one home from work, he's sitting in the house. Because we in practice at 5:30. By the time she got home, she think he done went to practice and everything. But she didn't know why he won't playing. So a lot of times, ask your child why he's not on the field. Maybe he forgot his cleats, helmet. So, yeah, man, got to deal with it.
Before they get on your team, do you look at what they're doing in class and be like, well, I don't need this guy? You know, how do that go? Do you check their grades throughout the year, and do you check them at the end? How do you go about that?
So, man, I've been blessed, man. Coach Horn do a great job at that. Coach Horn, I actually print out, and Hank Tice did it too. Coach Horn would actually print out a sheet of who's failing. And so what I started doing was, you had up downs before practice if you were failing any class. You got 55 up downs every day until you break that grade up. And I'm gonna tell you straight, it worked. The boys doing PE time, go Floyd. I gotta go make up this quiz for Miss Such and Such. Go Floyd. I gotta make up this work for Miss, because they didn't want to be failing. So I didn't want to be them coaches just letting you play on Wednesday, just letting you play, and you out here with a 30 or 40. So I started implementing. It's going to affect this season too. If you fail in A class, you got 55 up downs every day before practice until you get that grade brought up. And when we
just repeat that last part.
So so we're gonna put it into effect this season as well. If you're failing A class, you got 55 up downs before practice every day. And it worked, bro. I'm telling you, I seen kids went from a 50 to an 80 or something in no time. Because they were just being lazy and not making up their work. So it worked, man. So that's what it comes to. And if that young man was troublesome, Miss Cannon and Miss Angel is my witness, and they talk about this oftentimes. They say, Coach Floyd, we notice we see a dip in the boys when they're not playing football. They see a dip, because I make sure you gonna run or you got up downs, but if you ain't doing like you're supposed to in class. That's just the way it goes. I didn't have that in school. I told the boy, I said, I wish I had a Coach Floyd that ran me, made me do up downs before practice because my grades weren't good. Because I told her dad one time, I shared it with her dad. I said, you didn't know he was failing in class, did you? You know. I said, you ain't had to know because I took care for you. I said, you gonna fail? I ain't even called his mom and daddy. You got up downs every day, buddy, until you get that grade up. Grade went sky high. Man, I seen a kid had 20-something in math, went to a 90-something in math. Just by getting on them. They just need that little push, man. And don't worry, them up downs will make you push. My kids tell you, they do not like up downs. You get in trouble too much, you got 75 up downs and 1,000 yards. So what's that? We on the football field in the end zone. You give me 15 up downs, run down and back. 15 up downs, run down and back. You got to do that 5 times. That's 75 up downs and 1,000 yards. I had kids say, Coach Floyd, I ain't going to be bad no more. I promise you ain't going to have to worry about me no more. No more problems. They scared of them up downs and 1,000 yards. So yeah, discipline, man. Discipline.
Do you get kids that go to high school and then, you know, being that they don't, I don't want to say the coach, but they don't have that mentor figure or that father figure no more that's with them at least at school? Because even if you got a father, it's still, you know, you still need somebody else.
I know what you mean.
And do kids stop playing football? Do a lot of kids stop playing football and just do other stuff like the street, stop going to school, start getting bad grades? Do you see any of that happening?
Yeah, man. Unfortunately, you're right, man. That's a good question, Streets. Yes, we Coach McGill asked me that, man. He said, man, Floyd, he said, a lot of the kids, man, that play football for you in middle school, man, they ain't even playing no more when they get to high school. And I talked to a kid one time, man. He told me, Coach Floyd, he said, when I start playing football for you, he said, it just won't sing no more. He told me that straight up. He said, it just won't sing no more. And a lot of them kids that was on those championship middle school football teams, they at the high school just walking around the hallways. I know a young man right now, I don't even want to say his name on camera, but I'm talking about he went to South Creek. He is I think he's a sophomore or freshman there. No, he's a sophomore. He's a dog in basketball and football, but he just don't play nothing no more. And if I were there, I would pull that joke out. You gonna play. You gonna play. Yes, you are. And I think Coach Willie gonna do a good job at getting those kids back out. Because, man, we got some talent walking around the high school that just don't play sports no more, man. And it sucked, man. It hurt. But here, it's just the pressure of being good here. They want to play. And me walking the hallways, I'm going to talk to you. And we're going to get you out there to play. Because you're going to wish you could have got these years again. When you become a grown man, it's a lot of grown men that say, man, you know what, bro? I wish I would have played football in school. Like, oh, I wish I would have played basketball. Oh, I wish I would have done it. Or I wish I would have did it sooner. Some of them waited their senior year to finally play football. I'm like, bro, what if I started in middle school, bro? I would have been a dog by the time you know what I'm saying? So a lot of times they wait too late. You know, they might be home on a game or they got girlfriends now. And, you know, the younger generation, not like, I mean, I had a job, I had my own car, and had a girl, but I still love working out. I still love making time for practice. In high school, I went and worked out even when I went to school. And it's just I don't know if it's the maturity level now, but kids nowadays, it's like they can't balance it all. You know, I mean, I did it all in high school, man. I won't always who I am now.
Check out FadeKingz, 120 South Elm Street. He'll put you in the game. He'll get you right, how you looking fresh, men or women. Right here in Williamston, North Carolina, 120 South Elm Street. Go check him out and he'll put you in the game.
But I always made time to work out and play sports, man.
Yeah, and you know, Williamston, the kind of, I know you went to high school in Washington, right? Mm-hmm. Williamston just kind of like it's I mean, every town got their stuff going on.
I know what you mean.
But Williamston kind of like, if you ain't around the right people.
I know. You're right.
If you don't have a few good people in your corner.
I know.
I mean, it's just so hard. And I know even with your situation, like you always say, you had some rough times too. Mm-hmm. You know, later on. And but when you was young, like when we was young, we still didn't really have nobody in our ear like that.
Right.
But what would you have wanted somebody to? And of course, I know we ain't got no regrets, but what would you have wanted somebody to say to you? Like if you needed something to be said to you at 14 years old or 15 years, what would it have needed to be? Like what would you want it to be? Mm-hmm. Like for somebody to say to you to kind of get you on the right track? Well,
right. RonDayle, hit them books harder. You know, even though I made good grades in school, I could have done better. I could have done better, man. I'll never forget, man, my 10th grade year, I think we had a conference championship in track, and I sat in my geometry exam and just put anything down on paper. And was smart, street, could do it. My mama was hard on me, but it's just, I don't know. It's just, I was going, it was a stage in my life, about my 10th grade year, I kind of went through the motion. And I really I'll never forget it, bro. I buckled. My freshman year, I was buckling down because I wanted to play sports, and I was in high school now. That was 2004 season. My sophomore year, I kind of played around a lot. But my junior year, I buckled down. I'll never forget, I had to take Algebra 2 at Washington. They blessed me with, I took geometry and Algebra 2 in the same semester. Like I would go from geometry class to Algebra 2 class. Because I played around my 10th grade year, man. And, you know, talking with girls and wanting to make money. I went through that. But my junior year, I washed all that mess away. I went back to working, had my car, but I focused more on my books, studying. And then my senior year, I had no regrets. I just stayed focused. Matter of fact, I don't even think I worked my senior year. I just focused on books and sports. And just so I could get out. And I was blessed, man. And like you say, man, a lot of kids don't have what I had. Like going back to my mentor, my mom was hard on me. I seen my mama work late nights in the hospital and going to school at the same time. You know, I seen my mama do that. So, but my Uncle Willie and my Aunt Shanique, you know, they was great role models to me, man, doing the right thing. I knew what I was supposed to do when I went to school when nobody else around looking. So, yeah, man, that's why I'm hard on my young boys, but I also understand, you know, I'm on them hard, but once they get home, some of them, you know, they going home, mom and dad at work, or they going home by themselves. Grandma raising them, and grandma doing the best she can. You know, they might try to get away with some stuff with grandma, because grandma older. So, you know, that's when I step in like, boy, hey, I went checked on your grades today, and them grades ain't looking like I want them. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, I wish somebody would have told me to hit them books harder and don't go through the motion. Hey, stay strong each year, and don't just get out here filibustering, as the old folks say. And just keep grinding, man. It's only 4 years. It's going to go by fast. I tell my boy, Bunchy, your 9th grade year almost over with, dude. You got 3 more years. That's it. And ain't no, I wish I could have did this or I wish I could have did that. Hey, that's it, baby. And, you know, so that's why I try to step in and talk to my young boys that don't have that at home. Like you said, a lot of kids don't have that, man. You know, a lot of kids seeing their dads, you know, sell drugs or the police come in their house and lock their dad up, you know. They seeing that stuff. You know, my childhood ain't always been good. I've seen some things in my life growing up in Little Washington in the 90s, man. Mama, hey, I know what it's like. Police come in your house, and hey, I've been down there. And a lot of times I tell my kids, Coach Floyd won't always coach Floyd and Deacon Floyd neither. You know, I've done some things and I just ain't got caught. You know, I keep it real with the young boys. Hey, I've been blessed. You know, a lot of times they think when you go off to college and you know you're doing good, but a lot of us were getting some stuff in college we had no business get into. You know, and that's why I never look down on somebody that got a record or anything. Some of us just didn't get caught. So, to God be the glory. So I talk to my young boys. I keep it real with them. You know, you got to. You know, hey, Coach Floyd, you been through that? Yeah, I've been through that. Coach Floyd, they did y'all? Yeah, I've been through that. Hey, you see me now. You didn't see how I was coming up as a child back in the 90s in Little Washington. Then, you know, I seen a lot growing up, man. Been through some things, you know. I've been blessed, man, to have people in my life that allow my childhood to captivate my life and predict my path. So, you know, I had people in my life that say, look, that's my nephew. Hey, just because he, you know, that may have happened, hey, we're going to keep him straight, though. We ain't going to let him go down that path like we went down. We're going to keep him straight. So I was blessed. I was like the first one out of my mama's side to like go to college and get my master's, man. So, you know, I was blessed, man. I got a lot of great cousins in my life, but I was like really one of the first ones to really go off to school and go to college, man. You know, I was blessed, man, even though it was a little shaky. Had my son my freshman year, bunchy. You know, I don't regret, like you said, you had no regrets, but I'm going to help somebody with what I'm about to say. Just keep pushing. You know, when we were coming up streets, I don't know if you remember, it was a lot of girls in high school that had babies at a young age. It was a lot of girls, you know, this young generation are not having like we did. When we were coming up, man, girls were having children in high school like crazy. But I had one my freshman year, had Bunchy. I thank God for my support system. My wife, she dropped out of school. I was still in there. I stayed in there for a while, came home, rededicated my life back to the Lord, started taking up classes at Mount Olive, got my associates, then got my 4-year. Then I went online and got my MBA online through Liberty, man. And I was just grinding. I wanted it, man. It was like I had a second chance in life, you know. So, yeah, man, hey, keep pushing. Hey, keep persevering through the hard times. To the young men out there that don't have that father figure in your life, hey, it's people like me in streets. We care. Hey, just let y'all know, hey, if you ever want to reach out, talk to me, man. Hey, I'm here. You know, it's just the way it is. That's my life, man. Hey, what can I do to help somebody else's son, man? That's what we do, man. Somebody else's daughter. You know, I talk to the kids a lot, man. So, yeah, man.
That's what's up. So, we ain't got to talk about it, but you say you kind of had some stuff going on. Well, you did what all the kids, you know, kind of kids do. As far as you were cutting up or something.
Oh, yeah, man.
Or well, you in the street life.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
What happened to make that turn? Mm-hmm. Like, because a lot of people don't make the turn.
Right.
But so being kind of doing your thing or whatever it may be, mm-hmm. what made you make that turn? Like, or do you remember like why did you make the turn or how?
Right. So yeah, man. Like I said earlier, I had some trouble time too. It was times I got kicked out of school for fighting and stuff too. That's why, you know, I can be hard on my young boys, but I can understand too. So I'm not making an excuse for them, but I have been down that road. Went out to college. Everything I did in college went right. Like I told you earlier, man, I just didn't get caught. So that's why I could never look down on nobody. But man, I'm gonna be honest with you, streets. Me giving my life back to the Lord really helped shape me. Cause I ain't gonna tell you nothing wrong. If it wasn't for that change, I'd probably either be dead or behind bars. And that's what it changed for me. I end up slowing my life down. Thank God, man, I slowed my life down. You know, I partied, I drink, I smoke, I did my thing too. You know, I did those things. But I ended up coming home and rededicating my life back to the Lord. And then I had a family, you know, at a young age, 21. So, you know, that slowed daddy down a lot. You know, I'm home with my son and my daughters. While the boys probably, you know, at the Phoenix, you know. Well, I could have been with them, but that wasn't my life anymore, you know. I could have been at the Copper Kettle, you know, but I won't there no more. But, you know, so, yeah, man, building my relationship with my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. This ain't just something I taught. You know, I spent plenty of nights and still do in my Bible. That's my guiding and my mentors, the people that's in my life. My pastor, Pastor RonDayle was really a push and help for me because that was something I wanted and I desired to get in the school system. So when I got out of college, it's like my life moved fast. But my turning point from high school, I mean, I got in my stuff, but I went deep as some other people, but I was out there too. Went to college, was in my studies, and then I started straying away a little bit, getting in stuff. But when I left school early to come back home with my family. So that's how I ended up, that was my turning point. Getting back in church was my turning point. So hit my studies because I knew I wanted to be a school teacher and a football coach. So yeah, man, that was my turning point. I didn't have one of those turning points like some of my boys. Like some of my boys' best friend died, that was their turning point, or maybe somebody got locked up, that was their turning point. I thank God I didn't have to experience that. You know, I thank God I didn't. Or, you know, I had a lot of friends, don't get me wrong now. A lot of my friends that I grew up with did get shot and killed, or you know, some of them got sick and died at a young age, streets, and it made me appreciate life. A lot of that helped too. So yeah, man, I was thankful, man, that God gave me an opportunity to get myself together. And man, you're looking at me right now.
Glad to have you here. What's some of the coaches that you may take from, may be inspired by, like whether they in the high school, college, or NFL level, just a couple?
Okay, to start off, most of the college level, it was Nick Saban. I used to hate Alabama. I hate to say it like that, but I like the way he ran his program, man. Big on discipline, made sure everything was organized. And I used to love Alabama because they ran the football, and I was big on running the football. But then they started going to RPOs and throwing the ball off the run. So it's like that was right down my line. So Nick Saban, Bill Belichick. I like guys that are wise behind the pad and the pen. Also, Coach Johnson, Larry Johnson, Ohio State, who's right here from Martin County. D-line specialist. Anybody know me? I love working with the D-line. So I'm constantly learning from coaches of them. Joe Salas, a guy I learned from online. Coach Asim McGill, Hank Tice, Coach Jim Bob. You know, he's big on screens and gap scheme, which was something I love. Robert Cody out of Plymouth with wing T, running wedge, power, and counter. So, you know, it's a lot of guys that have shaped and molded me and don't even know it, just me observing them, man. But some guys that do, I learn from a lot, man, just being in their presence. I talk to Coach McGill like every day. We talk every day, you know, so I've been blessed, man. A lot of coaches that have inspired me and taken my coaching ability to another level. But just to name those few, Nick Saban, Bill Belichick, Coach McGill, Coach Jim Ball, Hank Tice, Coach Robert Cody, my boy KJ Hunt, who gave my first opportunity to coach at the high school level. So yeah, man. Yeah, there was a few to name, man, that inspired me, man, to take my coaching game to another level, and those that I borrowed from. And also Craddock, man. I like the way Craddock run his ship, man. People don't understand this. I saw, and not to answer the question before we get into Tarboro, but just that while we on this piece, I remember Craddock when I was at Washington High School, and I remember when Tarboro was just okay. You know, they were still winning. They ain't suck, but they won't like the Tarboro now. I never forget, man, seeing my senior year when Tarboro came into our building, they used our locker room, and just seeing him stand there. He was a little small guy then. He was standing there with his clipboard in his hand. He was a lot younger. But yeah, man, the way he's taking his program to higher heights, man, I commend it, man. Any man that's doing something and building a perennial powerhouse, you want to learn from him. And that's what I want to do, man. He run a good ship. And coaches like him, man, I like his style too, man. I like it, man.
How can y'all get it like Tarboro?
Hey, whether people like it or not, Tarboro is standard, man. I mean, whether they like it or not, Tarboro is standard. And what I love about Tarboro, though, man, they got so many people that's involved at the rec program. And see, that's the thing, man. People wanna bicker and complain, but man, Tarboro and them guys put in the work with them kids, man. They got them from 8U, 10U, 12U. They put in work, man. Look, when we went to the Jamboree and you came down there and you recorded when Pete was in 7th grade, man, they had so many coaches at Batilla Middle School to be in middle school football, man, it didn't make no sense, man. And you know, they were warming up, right? I'm looking down there at them. Man, they had the D-line, man, they had so many coaches at different stations warming up before the Jamboree. And we came down there about 2 deep, me and Dalvin. It was me and Dalvin, you know, but man, that's what they build, man. And then they bring people back home. Like they got people that come back and get involved. That knowledge that Crowd Up and Babs and all them guys passed down to them, they pouring it back into the kids. Can't do nothing but get better.
Yeah, 'cause I think they got Tay Randolph helping
Yeah,
out.
he was upstairs. He was up top in the booth with us when we played him that
So
night.
like you said, they passed it right back down.
Yeah, they passed it right back down, man. And when you got about 6, 7 coaches on the staff at a youth, my God. And I only got most times about 3 at the middle school with me, but we just been blessed to do it. But yeah, man. But that's a blessing, man, having the staff and having the kids. Tarboro football, man, has a great influence on those kids, man. They want to put on that purple and gold, man. And that's what, I mean, now we may have to ask kids in Martin County to play, but things are changing because the kids are starting to love football. And but man, Tarboro, that's the standard, man. And that's the difference, man. They have people that come back and so into those kids, and they move up with their groups. And then when they get in middle school, now that Coach Eric, he had moved up to the high school, Coach JV. I don't know how it's going to work out now, but they still going to be good. But they had coaches in the middle school that was seasoned, man, that stayed playing and rooted there for a long time. Eric Jones was there for a while, man. And I think his brother helped him and a few other coaches. So, man, that's the biggest thing, man. We got to get some people in the building here. Most of them coaches do have jobs outside the school system, but they had a lot of coaches that work in the school system too. So that's the main. And we're on our way. Martin County on the rise, man. Kids loving the weight room. We getting coaches to come here. And the biggest thing is just get more people in the building. But it's coming, man. It's coming sooner than ever, man. It's coming.
Yeah, y'all get some more coaches, y'all definitely going to be scared. But just like, as far as you need more coaches in the community as well.
Yeah.
Well, if you get the coaches here, you can send them down to handle our rec program.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what Tarboro do a little bit. Okay. And also another good thing I see with Tarboro do, Jeff Crowder, he actually be standing on the field for middle school or rec games. He's standing on the field. Mm-hmm. I go down there and film a game. Mm-hmm. Like, he a legend down there. He like,
oh yeah.
When you see somebody like that, like he got that glow around him.
Oh yeah.
He standing on the field for a middle school game, making sure they doing what they supposed to be doing. Mm-hmm. Do you stay connected with your high school coach and the rec program, or that's something y'all working on?
Right. So, and I got to do a better job this year, man. Going to see my rec kids more. Okay. I think I made one game this past season. We were down there in Plymouth in Washington County. But I do want to do that more. But I made sure I stayed like the whole day that day to try to watch everybody play. But usually when we had our games, when we was in the O League, we was working, doing the plays and stuff. But I really want to see my young boys more play at the rec level. And it's a blessing because the way Tarboro set up, their middle school games are played on Thursdays. So, and I was playing on Wednesday. So most of the time, my high school preparing on Wednesday for Friday. But Thursday, in high school, it's like a light day. So, Craddock got it set up right where he could beat her. And that's a blessing they got it set up like that, man. But yeah, man, I got to get to the point where I'm spending more time with our rec program. I used to pop up at the practice. I used to do that. I would leave my practice. But so now it's a little different because I got to drive the shuttle bus from Robinsonville back to Williamston. And that's when we were just practicing here at Riverside, or when we were just Riverside Middle School, my practice be over at 5:30. I'm out of here. But I would go down to Gaylord and watch the kids practice and help them. So right now with the shuttle situation, and there ain't no excuse. I still can make time to go there. But yeah, man, that's what I want to do. And I know some of the high school coaches did come to our middle school games last year. But it would be a blessing for Coach Wheeler, because I think he lives in Williamston now, for him to go down there and show his face at the rec so the kid can say, hey, that's the high school football coach. I'm going to tell you, man, straight, it blessed my heart when I see the young kids at the rec and they know who I am. They be like, Coach Floyd. And look, man, they got this little thing they do, man. I'll never forget Quan's little brother do it. And all of them start doing it. He was like, Coach Floyd, can I play football for you in middle school? I said, yeah, you can play. He was like, I got an offer. He was talking about like an offer like college. And all the little kids be saying that now, man. So when I tell them, like, they be like, Coach Floyd, can we play for you in middle school? I said, yeah, you can play for me. Oh, I got an offer. They talking like they got an offer like a scholarship or something. And man, that bless my heart, them kids do that, man. You don't know, man, when you've been a role model, man, that's how it is. And man, I'm gonna tell you, man, that's how them kids look up the crowd out, man. So man, it did bless my heart, man. They talking about they got an offer because I told them they can play, man. So yeah, man, hey, Tarboro the standard, man. It's the standard.
I got you. How do you motivate a kid to play football?
All right, so
that just ain't playing football.
So I for example, like this young kid from Burke T. I think he's been going to school for him for a while now. They call him Junior too. And I watched him in gym. He moved pretty good. Got some height on him too. And I said, look, man. I said, look, I've had a lot of kids. I had a lot of kids ain't never played football before and come out here and be some dogs. I said, you gonna play football? He said, yeah, I'm gonna play. I said, hey, you play receiver? I said, we're gonna find out what you good at. And that's what we're gonna put you at. I said, come on out here and play. I said, we're gonna get you right. I said, come on. I said, you wanna win a championship, don't you? And you know, those plaques right there, man, when them kids see them golden trims up here, when they come here and see that, that's another way of motivating them. Come to the weight room right quick. Let me show you something. Do you want to help us get that 5th plaque up here? Yes, sir. All right. I said, come on. I said, man, expect to see you in the summer. I said, play sports. I said, why you just? I said, look, ain't nobody taking stats in gym. I said, well, we can put them stats down on the season. They get out there on the grass, man. You be thinking it's a Super Bowl out there. And some of them don't even play football, but can play. So I said, man, look, man, come put a helmet on, put some pads on, do this. Yes, sir. And so, you know, we get a lot of quality. The only one that we got that play football that never played football. Josiah Staten. My Jet Sweet kid this past season, this was only his 2nd year playing football, man. He never had played rec, none of that. And people want to know because the way he was hitting and running Jet Sweet. Man, like I say, man, Martin County got athletes, man. You know, my boy Antonio Gostin was 17, played inside back for me. He played football when he was young in Greenville, but he had never played organized basketball. And he did great wonders on our basketball team. I said, Antonio, have you ever played basketball before? He said, no, sir. I said, so you ain't never played rec, school ball, nothing? He said, no, sir. I said, this your first time ever playing organized? He said, yes, sir. So, you know.
Yeah, he was a monster.
Yeah, and guess what? I'm gonna use him to help motivate somebody else to play ball. So you remember Man, don't you? Y'all remember? Man never played basketball before. And so I'm gonna use that same methodology, same thing to encourage him. I always try to find that one kid that was an example of our program. And that's what I'm gonna do. I find if I see him make a layup, shoot a 3 in gym, man, you need to try for basketball. You need to be helping us win another championship. I see him throw that football, catch that football, man. You need to come out there and put a uniform. I got a uniform for you, boy. Come on out there. I got a helmet for you. I said you work hard on something. Come out there. You pick your helmet first. You gotta find ways to encourage them, man. Gotta find ways to motivate them. Cause we got some talent just sitting home on that couch, you know. But yeah, that's why I found it.
Yeah, I love what you do. Cause I seen the times after the season where you'll get the baseball coach to come and talk to the kids and try to get them to play baseball. There ain't too many coaches doing that. So,
yeah, man.
So where do you see yourself going in 10 years or being in 10 years? As far as you already got 4 of them things. 10 years from now, I can see coaches calling you, especially if you done racked up 15 plaques. In 10 years, where do Coach Floyd see himself?
Man, 10 years, I don't know, man. I could be continuing to build this legacy at the middle school, or I could move up to the high school, man. I don't really have college in my view, but I really enjoy the schedule that I have at the middle school, man. It's a blessing to be able to play on Wednesday nights, and if we want to practice on Thursday, we can. If we don't, we can have the rest of the week off. But in high school, I probably would take my game to another level, planning a lot more on weekends. At home, of course, you know, some coaches meet on weekends, some coaches don't, but technology gives us the opportunity to meet from home. But 10 years from now, I could be still here at the middle school, man, or I may move up to the high school and be an assistant. Coach Will, I think he said he got 10 years in him at Martin County High, so he may be still there, and I maybe could take over that 11th year, you know, so I don't know, man. I'm just enjoying my time. I just enjoy the middle school kids. You know, they're young. You get to reach them at a young age before they develop that permanent personality. You know, usually you get them at that adolescent age right now where they still learn and try to figure themselves out. So 10 years from now, I don't know. I know I'm going to still be in Martin County, though. That's the plan. So that's the thing for me.
And what's so special about, like, I know you said they're adolescent, they about to be teenagers or they just becoming teenagers, but just what's so special to you about that middle school level? That's something that you just can't let go, like, that people may not understand.
Right, man. For one, it's kind of like more so balanced. In middle school, man, you don't have too many middle schoolers that are lifting weights and things of that such. So for a long time, man, kids had an opportunity to be good. But when you go to high school, man, you got high schools that are set up great where they got kids been lifting since they were 9th graders going against schools where kids that only had, like Northeastern, I think if I'm not mistaken, Northeastern and if I'm not mistaken, it's Northeastern and Herbert County that don't even have weightlifting in their high school as a class. So just picture them how good they are, and they still doing what they do and don't even have weightlifting as a class during the day. So, I mean, you know, at this level right here, it's just so balanced and fun because I get to reach them when they're young and they're still athletic enough to compete with other middle schoolers. But in high schoolers, man, in high school, it's going to be kind of hard to compete against guys that's been running that system for a long time, been lifting weights for a long time. But in middle school, the playing ground is kind of even because not all middle schoolers lift, you know. So, and then just to see the excitement on his face when they got the opportunity to be great. So, yeah, it's just the middle school age, man. It's just so exciting to see a young man just do great.
Yeah, because you get to see them before, you get to see what they can do before the whole world get to see them, basically.
Yes.
Like I mean, you know, when they get to high school, you can kind of tell, like, oh, he gonna go D1.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you, man, Coach MD said this at Washington County. It made my heart warm, man. He said, man, when I was out there at the game, and he was talking about the high school game, he said, I can tell the boys you coach versus the boys you didn't coach. He said, man, them boys that you coach, boy, they finished their tackle and everything. And that made me feel so good, man. It made me feel good when people said, I'm like, Floyd, we can tell the difference in the kids you coach and the kids that didn't come under you, man. Like, they just the way they play, and it made me feel so great because they don't know the time we put in to get them to that place. And I don't take no credit. I don't take no glory. And it's not just me. Coach Wheeler, Coach Dalvin, Coach Jones when he was here, Coach Neal when he was here, all those guys have played a part in making that hand. But for our middle school to set that pillar like that, man, and people say, man, we just can tell the difference in the kids y'all coach and the kids that probably never play for y'all. And that make me feel good, man. Like, just see that fruit and that evidence, man, when you put into a kid. Like, even you, when you help them with basketball, you were teaching them kids fundamentals. So I can say, look, man, I can tell streets work that kid. He know fundamentals. He might not be fancy, but he know his fundamentals. But, you know, it's a blessing when you can see that fruit come out like that, man.
Would you move up to the high school?
All right, so as of right now, I'm thinking about it. I don't know, maybe when I may be an assistant, when my son gets to that level of where, I don't know, people say sometimes, well, can you coach your son? Yes, I can coach. I coached him in rec in middle school. But I do miss my groups that I send up. Like, I miss being around them. And so, yeah, I could see myself going up to being Coach Wheeler assistant sometime soon. I got about probably three more groups that's going to be good in middle school, and I would love to move up with them. See, I want to set a pipeline, man. I want to have it when we go. We got some classes that are strong. I always heard, you know, Williamston, they won state championships here, and they talked about how your groups always got to have those classes that's good right back to back. If your senior class strong, but you want your junior and sophomore class to be strong to help back them up. So at the end of the day, I want those classes to be strong. When we finally move up, we can say, hey, we're going to have some talent right here for a while. So, okay. I don't know, maybe next 2-3 years, I don't know.
Okay, yeah, I know the people want to know.
Okay.
And anything you want to add?
Man, as of right now, I'm just excited for the upcoming season. Ready to get to work. Ready to start working the guys out, putting in plays and going over drills. I'm big on drills and fundamentals at practice. My practice is more so me running my plays and making them drills and it revolve to conditioning. But I'm just excited for the season. Staying on my boys right now is fourth quarter. So fourth quarter, we try to stay locked in on our books, make sure we're keeping our behavior straight so we can make it to the next grade. So, yeah, man, I'm just excited, ready to get to work, ready to see what the high school going to do this year. I'm excited to see my young boys, some of them for their senior, junior, and sophomore years, even my freshmen is going up. I'm ready to see them dominate because our high school returning a lot. Right. And so I'm ready to see what JV going to do because our JV can be pretty stout, too, because we got some sophomores that can stay on JV. Because our varsity going to be loaded. We only graduated like 5 seniors, if I'm not mistaken. That's JJ and them. There's only like 5, if I'm mistaken, that played. Yeah. So, yeah, man, I'm excited for middle school. I'm excited for the rec, see what they're going to do this year. Yeah. I know junior in them group, they're going to be special as well. So, yeah, man, I'm just excited to see what the future holds for Martin County Gators, man.
That's what's up. And last question. Just like I know you coach JJ and them. Mm-hmm. So, talk about JJ. Just let them in with a good note. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They put in that grind from rec. Mm-hmm. You had them in rec, and to now, and now I guess they're graduating and going on, man. But they made it all the way through. Every kid don't do that. So let them know how how special it was for them to do what they did, because every kid can't go through that system like that.
Right.
But just any words you want to give to them?
Hey, man, just keep grinding, man. To all my boys, man, the seniors this year, J. Marcus Jones, my little cousin, who I did get the pleasure of coaching, Rick, JJ, Kel Javius Moore, Poppy, Alex Roy. Yeah, man. I think that's the boys that was in my group, because most of them are going to be juniors. They're juniors that be seniors, but those guys did a great job. JJ ranked high in the state, man, for tackles, man. Great job. He played linebacker for me and Rick and receiver. People don't know that JJ had good hands. But yeah, man, he did a great job on our rec team. When we played, when we was little, he'd hit you then, he was hitting you now. I mean, he was hitting like a man. I think they call him Iron Man. But yeah, man, y'all keep grinding. Y'all keep pushing. Y'all keep putting on for Martin County. Remember, when y'all go off, you don't just represent your family. You don't just represent yourself. You represent us. So, when you make it, we all make it, man. Hey, the biggest thing I want you to do is come back home and be an inspiration, man, with the life you live when you leave from here. So yeah, man, keep being great. Proud of y'all guys. Great season. 8-4, if I'm not mistaken. Did a great job. Proud of y'all guys. Big turnaround from their junior year to their senior year, man. Proud of y'all guys, man.
Get your Evolve t-shirts from Billy Fredo on Facebook. 2-piece jogging suits, t-shirts, hats, everything you need. He'll get you fresh. For whatever you want to do for the weekend, he'll get you fresh. Check out Billy Fredo. How was last season for you, like, far as your 4th championship? How was that year for you?
Man, last season was fun. I'm going to tell you why last season was so fun, Streets. That was like a grooming group, I call it. Like, that group, a lot of kids, first time playing football. Like our star player, Jason Staten, who was number 20, our jet sweep guy, who played safety for us. He was our halfback. That was his second year only playing football. And he really didn't play much his 7th grade year, but he never missed practice. He was always dedicated. I can't recall a day where he missed practice. And he got a good mom, man. If he ever got slack, all I had to do was tell his mom. And she was on him. She ain't play, get him right in the parking lot. And that's what you need, man. You need like some parents that hold you accountable. She wasn't the type that, that bickered against me. When I told her something wasn't right, hey, she got on side. That's why Cy gonna go far, because he got a strong mama that's gonna back up the coach 100% about, hey, if he ain't doing his part, she gonna get him. And hey, my boy took his game to another level. And I was proud of him, because for him missing out the years that most kids started on 8U, he missed them years. He missed 8U, 2 years on 8U. He missed 2 years on 10U, and he missed a year on 12. So, I mean, most of them kids had 5 years of experience before him. So he did pretty good. Hit you in the mouth. Hey, he did good. He was still getting better running jet sweep, how to cut on the dime, but he got a lot of yards. He scored a lot, caught touchdowns. So he caught 2, if I'm not mistaken, he caught 2 touchdowns this past season. So I'm proud of Cy. Cy took his game to another level. Caden Bland, who started in the program with y'all when he was young. He was a part of that group. It was special, man. Even though they only won 1 game, man. But I'm going to tell you something about me, man. When I go to them games, I tune out what people say, and I look at how can they help out our program at the middle school. Like, that coach at Rec may have him somewhere, but I'm going to say, nah, he'll be stronger here. So that's what I go to the games at, when I could, especially Caden group. I used to go check them out a lot. Sometimes I'll be up there doing the MC and on the mic sometimes. But this past season, I only went to 112U game, and that kind of bothers me, and I want to try to get more. But, yeah, man, Amari, Bass Knight, Bradley, Baston, Carter Lopez. There was a lot of kids on that group that was special. Chance Matheson, who another kid we got to come back to Martin County, because he was at Hobgood. That's my goal, getting back everything that said either Baggrass or Hobgood. Y'all can take it how y'all want. That's my goal, get my Martin County boys back, man. And that's my goal. Like, I got parents that, may go to other schools like Coach Floyd, we're thinking about coming back. We want to be a part of the men's program y'all got at the middle school, and my son wants to play football for you. And that's the goal, man. You got to promote your program, man. It's just like the 4 P's, man. Product, place, promotion, and price. And that's my goal, man. So Thomas Wheeler, who did an excellent job. He was really basically our 3rd string quarterback, but we went through some things where we had to come down to him, and he stepped up and he rose to the occasion and put the team on his back. He threw some touchdowns, and he led the team. Zainier Cofield did an awesome job when he did come back, played receiver some too. Brian Brian Swain did an awesome job. He got in the end zone some, started at corner. Antonio Goss, man, he was number 17 on inside backer. He led the team in interceptions, and he was a headhunter on defense. Kenny Brown, Whip, did an excellent job, stepped up. When we took Thomas off the defensive side of the ball so he could play quarterback, Whip stepped up heavy, and he made a lot of key tackles as well. E.I. Earnhardt, he did excellent as well. Let me see, I don't want to miss nobody. Tristan Holly, he played football for the Rec in his early years, and he stopped for a while. So people don't understand. Number 8, Tristan Holly, he was just getting the cobwebs off. He had stopped playing football for a while, man, and made one of the key interceptions against Chowan. Scored a lot against Hobgood, man. He went off, man. He got it. Like, that's why I wish kids would play football and stick with it, because he finally started to get it as the season progressed. We got better, man. When we first went to the scrimmage at Elizabeth City, we looked a little rusty. But he got better as the season progressed. And Craig Barrow, one of y'all boys from the Rec, he played on the offensive line. He played lineman mostly during the Rec, but we had to make him a tailback. And I'll never forget, one day I seen him run hard at practice. And I looked at him. I said, "Who's your favorite running back?" He said, "Derrick Henry." That's all I needed to hear. And, man, he became a bowling ball. Number 2, Craig Barrow. So, yeah, I was proud of Craig as well, man. We did, what's my young boy, Zayden Hyman, one of the twins. Never played football before, man. Did an awesome job catching some key passes for us and getting better with his blocking at receiver, man. So I was just proud of that group, man. I'm telling you, man. I was just so proud of that group because it was some people that never had played positions before, and they had to be moved around. Jeremiah Griffin, Javion Andrews, those guys did a great job. Bryson Jones, first time ever playing football, scored a touchdown against Chowan when we really needed it. Broke for a touchdown on the onside kick, man. I'm just proud of that group, man. That 8th grade group is big, and they're going to be special, man. They're strong. They love the weight room. When they come in here, they compete, and I got 2 8th grade classes, and they compete against one another. We going through the ceiling with a lot of our maxes, man. I'm so proud of this group. Last season was great. We scored the most points ever, 60 points last season. We got the news that one of our brothers on the team was dealing with some situations. His grandmother gave us the permission to talk to the team about it. And I'm going to tell you, Streets, it took them boys to another level that night. They tried to tear Washington County apart, man. I'm telling you, it just had our emotions. I couldn't even talk. I told Coach CP, "Can you do it?" I thought I was going to start crying if I broke the news to him. I said, "Coach, you do it, man." I said, "I can't do it." But it just took us to another level. We were so focused that night. And we put up 60 points. It was 60-0. And it seemed like after that, man, we just start playing lights out. Because we put up 48 points in the first half against Hobgood, and we just called the dogs off. But for some reason that night against Washington County, we kept all the dogs in. It was 8th grade night, so I wanted my boys to go out with a bang, have some fun. But I had so many 8th graders, we were subbing them in. That was the biggest 8th grade group I ever had. I think it was like 32. So, yeah, man, last season was good. Basically, our game day, man, we just prep, we lock in. When I get up that morning for game day, man, it's just awesome, man. It's just like I get up with a rush. Like I'm locked in, I'm focused. And it's a blessing because even that day during school, you could tell like everybody locked in and they ready. But now I'm not in the building with my South Creek boys, but I know they always ready for war. So we get up, we meet together. And if it's a home game, we go to South Creek right after school. We used to have like Jason mama or the other parents like Terrence Cherry, his mom, they'll feed us. And we had a lot of other parents that would feed us. And they look out for us, and we come in there and we try to stay off our feet, may watch film or we may watch a movie or something like that in the auditorium at South Creek if it's a home game. And we just lock in, man. We get suited up, go on the field, do our chant, and the rest is history, man. We get back in, we put our helmets and stuff on, and our cheerleaders make a nice little banner for us, and we break out, man. It's time for war, man. And kids just be so locked in, man. That's what I love about them. On our away games, man, you just hit the bus quiet because that's something I do. We don't talk on the way to the game, but we can talk on the way back. But I want everybody to focus on their assignment, man. If you ain't talking about or asking help on the bus or what you need to do, I just want you to hush, listen to your music, and lock in. And when we bring that dub back home, then we can talk, we can celebrate. So we had some great, exciting days. The good Lord had been blessing to us. I don't really know how it feels to lose on the way back home, and that's something we never want to experience. I'm just gonna be honest. We never know what it feels like to come back home on a quiet bus because we lost, and that's a blessing. I think the most downtime we ever had, Streets, when Pete got hurt back in the 23 season, man, and, you know, they cried, I cried. It was an emotional moment, man. We never seen Pete go down like that. He was running, and the kid from Urban County picked him up, and play was kind of really over, but the kid just did a hard slam, and he hit his head on the ground. And he came to the sideline, and the guys helped him get up. He said, Coach Floyd, I can't see. And it just made me drop. Like, I knew something wasn't right. Because Pete don't complain. He a warrior. And he was like, Coach Floyd, I can't see. And that's probably the most down. Even though we won, it was just different, man. It was different. They started crying. I was crying. And I would never forget DeMario mom coming over there consoling me. It was just hard to see him go down like that. But he was talking. And, man, he a warrior, man. He was back that next week. He set out that game against Burt T. He was back that Wednesday, throwing that thing, running for touchdowns again. The doctor said, man, he ain't never seen a kid recover that fast, man. He a dog. So this upcoming season, I'm expecting great things. We got some quarterbacks in the stable that can make things happen. Like, we got Jeremiah Howard returning, who sat out most of the season last year because of his hamstring, but he came back at the end. Very tall. He's probably around about 6'1" now. Probably going to be 6'2" when the season starts. Strong kid, love the weight room. Then we got the gunslinger Jabari Jenkins, who came back from Hobgood. He played a few games with them. Then he stopped and he transferred here. So I'm expecting great things from him too, man. He got an arm on him. He's been training with Coach Jim Ball. Sometimes him and the kids get together on Sunday and they go out there and throw with Coach Ty. He trains them while I'm walking and paying attention. He got feet on him too, strong. He's in the weight room. I'm proud of him as well. Got a few key linemen. Darwin, Powell. I'm expecting him to do great things. Michael Kelly, Jakari Mobley, who's an athlete. He's playing AAU basketball right now. He had a good key tackle at the end of the season that really sparked the sideline. So I'm expecting great things out of him. We got a few guys, man. I'm leaning heavy. Landon Council. I'm expecting him to do great things. Tyreek Kroon. I'm expecting Tyreek to be a leader this year for this team. So yeah, man. We got a few guys at South Creek that's going to come out and play football this year, man. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to, in the backfield, Raquel Swain and Tyler Rogers to take the reins. Two guys that run hard. You know, Tyler Rogers run hard, so I'm expecting him to take the rock. He's not as big as Craig, but he got hard and he run hard. So yeah, I'm looking for him to step up. Tajay Barnes, his brother was Rabbit at South Creek, the one that used to be real cut and that was fast. Yeah, that's his big brother. Yeah, Tajay tall though. Tajay and his he's tall. He might be taller than his brother, but he's running track right now. Very respectful young man. And he's been learning the plays, man, catching on so fast. I got him cross-training, learning the Z and the Y right now. And then we also got a few more kids that's going to be good for us. Aaron Harris, who was a dog at the rec for us before he broke his arm. He was the kid that played for the 12U that was like the receiver, the tall kid. We got also Jayon Edwards, Jiggy. He transferred in. He transferred in at South Creek. Maybe around, I think he was there the first couple. I want to say he was there when school first started, or September. He's related to the Higgs out of Robinsonville. So very talented young man. He played with the East Carolina travel team, the Cardinals. Kid can go up and get it, dude. They sent me some film. He can go up and get it, Jack.
And he coming to you this year?
Yeah, he'll be here with me this year. And he's only in 6th grade. So like him and Aaron Harris, they tall receivers. Our receivers gonna be tall this year. The shortest receiver we probably have is a young man we got coming in who stays in Martin County, but he's coming back to Martin County schools. Got great hands. He's gonna probably be the shortest receiver we have, but other than that, everything else we're gonna have is trees. And you already know about Jeremiah Howard. He'll go get her. So yeah, man, I'm excited, man. Some headhunters on defense as usual. We're gonna piece everybody up together. And if I miss anybody, it's no love lost. We're gonna be good, man. What I love, Streets, man. It's like God always blesses us with some kids on the summer that we ain't never seen play before. I'm looking for Tommy Fleming, who have played football before but has been doing great in the weight room. His brother, Jarice Bell, plays at the high school. Also, Tyon McNair, he's a kid from Washington County. He goes to school here, but strong. I mean, he in 7th grade, got a beard. Very smart kid. He's in our men's program. I think he made principal list, smart. I'm looking for him to come in and do great. I think he squatted like 230. And I think he benched like 145, something like that. That's pretty good for a 7th grader, man. Because I had kids at the beginning of the semester in 8th grade, they couldn't even bench with like 125, and then they bench like 175. So for him to be in 7th grade and bench press at 145, that's pretty impressive.
That's good.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, man, this season gonna be very exciting. We're gonna put the ball in the lot. We're gonna put the ball in the air a lot this season. Even though we got a running quarterback, we got some good tailbacks, but we're gonna put it in the air because we got receivers, man. So a lot of teams try to stop our jet sweep and counter. But you know, I'm always gonna throw a new wrinkle in there, and I got something in my pocket. But this year, it's going to really hurt a lot of teams because they're going to try to stop our run, but we're going to start throwing it more over their heads. And, you know, I don't mind saying this. You know, a lot of people know what we run in Martin County. They know I'm going to run jet, counter, trap. They know I'm going to run this stuff. But this year, we're going to go back to a running quarterback, which is a very hard thing for most teams to stop. We got 2 good running backs. I mean, not running backs, but we got 2 good quarterbacks that can run the ball. So, yeah, man, I'm excited. There's no telling who probably move in during the summer. They may come back and move back to Martin County. So, I'm excited, man, about Gator Ball, man. I'm excited. Shout out to my athletic director, Coach Horn, for always, you know, working things out to get me what I need. You know, yeah, man, I'm excited. This year we're planning on having our jamboree home this year. I'm still looking for one more team. So as of right now, it's about set in stone. Our jamboree gonna be at South Creek. As of right now, if I'm not mistaken, it's on the first week in September. And as of right now, we got Enfield coming. We got Wilson Prep, Washington County, Burke T, and we're looking for one more school. So if you know anybody out there that wants to come to our middle school football jamboree, either get in touch with Streets or you can get in touch with me, Coach Floyd, on Jet Sweep Counter on Facebook, or at Coach Floyd 252NC.
If anybody want to play football like that, can't contact you, how do they get in touch with you though? Like at the school, what they need to be doing? Like, I know somebody gonna watch this and say they want to play football now that they hear you.
Hey man,
talking.
just also, you know, we're on spring break right now. So if they want to come see me in the hallways, or they can call the front desk from Miss Sherry Hanson and ask to speak to Coach Floyd, or they can leave a message and tell me to call them on a sale or whatever. She'll write the number down with the name. Because that's happened before, man. It's amazing you asked me that. You might be like, Coach Floyd, my parent called and asked about football, and they want to know if their child can try out.
Right.
And they'll leave a name or a number. So, yeah, man, that's how you can do it, man. Good question, Street. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, and also, man, like how many kids you normally have come out? Because I know last year I think you had the whole city out, whole town out, whole county. So
usually, man, the first year we consolidated, I think we had like 36, 37. This past season, we had like 44, 45, something like that on the team. It was a lot, man. I thank God for Coach Willer. When he get off work from Martin Community College, he come and help me coach. And also Coach Boone, who ended up helping us probably about the 3rd or 4th game. So I'm thankful for them, man. So, yeah. So I don't know how big my team going to be this year, but the numbers are up. Well, Lord forgive me. I do know how big, technically. We already got over 41 kids in my Google Classroom for the upcoming season. And that's just the kids that's interested. But most of the kids that's interested are football players. So we got over 41 now in our Google Classroom. So there ain't no telling how many we'll have. And thank God for Coach Horn and Coach McGill and Dr. White for giving us more uniforms. So I don't know, man. I hope we don't. I don't know if we're going to hit the 50 mark this year. I don't know.
You need some coaches.
Yeah, I'm going to need some coaches, man. So then I'm hoping, I pray and hope God touch Coach Willer heart. He come back and help me, because you know Thomas, he moving up to the high school, and I understand that he want to be with his son. So, but God always has somebody. Each year, man, I look on the other sideline. Some schools got about 4 or 5 coaches, and it just be me and my compadre, and we go to war, man. And we coach the kids up. To God be the glory. And they know what to do when it's time to go on command, man. So, yeah, man, I always try to set up everything so it'll be easy during the week with our practice. Some days I just had a lineman. Some days I just had a skill guy, so I can make sure I get them that unconditional time that they need. So, yeah, man. Yep.
I got you. And as far as game day weeks, though, like it can be brief. But, like, go through, like, I know y'all play on Wednesday, I think.
Right.
So, yeah, just go from Monday through Thursday, I guess, or Monday through Friday, your weekday.
Right. So Monday, usually we hit one day a week. We hit on Monday. All right. So I used to be the type, man, I used to get a little too crazy with it. I used to be so hype at practice. We'd be thumping, hurting each other. But on Monday, we do tackling. And then basically on Tuesday, let me back up. Monday, we kind of go most of a defensive day. If I see like we need something on offense, we'll go over it. So Monday probably like it's going to be a defensive day. And then on Tuesday, since it's the day before the game, we'll go over all our offensive stuff. You know, because I mean, we got more than 3 or 4 plays, so we got to go over this stuff. Tuesday, we get out there and we do some 7-on-7, and we go live a little bit, but it's like pop and thuds and don't hit for the knees and stuff. And then on Wednesday is our game day. We do what we do. We come out prepared, come together as a brother. We pray together. We have walkthrough and we warm up, do our chant on game day, and then we go out there and become victorious. To God be the glory. And on Thursday, we'll come back, watch film. So usually this past year, I was blessed, man. The Matheson family, Punky and his wife, they recorded our games and stuff for us. So once he sent that stuff to me, I can go home and look at it, and then I can tell who ain't doing their job, so I already know who I'm going to fuss out. And sometimes I don't even want to look at players because I get mad all over again. And we go to the auditorium at South Creek. Thank God for I believe her name is Stokes, the band teacher who let me use her band room, or I use the stage where she be set up at some time, and we watch film in there. And yeah, man. And Thursday, I get the boys Friday off. Let them go support their brothers, because we got a lot of kids that got brothers at high school. And I'm there too, because, you know, my son plays. But I always just put my middle school boys first, even if my son did have a game. It's kind of hard with that sometimes. But, you know, I know my obligation. I know my obligation is to my middle school boys, because that's what I signed up for. But my son, one thing I love about my boy, he understands that. So, yeah, man, on Fridays we off. And then Monday we start again, hit once a week, defensive day. Then Tuesday, offense, clean up what we need to clean up, and get ready for war on Wednesday, man.
Game day. Just that Wednesday. Then what goes on that Wednesday?
All right. So basically,
from you getting up at your house like until you get back home, like
I get up, man. I get my stuff out, and it's like, man, I just lock in, man. I thank the Lord for waking me up, and I just lock in, man. It's just like I'm already focused. Like I already know what's gonna happen. We gotta have a good day at school, and make sure. First of all, I gotta make sure I got everything lined up, because usually what we do is, we always got to make sure our stuff is on the bus. So during my class, we usually don't lift on Wednesdays on football season. What I want to do is make sure everybody got their helmets, shoulder pads. Cause since we play our home games at South Creek, I got to make sure everybody got their cleats, pants. I'm passing out pants. Everybody got their jersey over their shoulder pads, helmet. I make sure every class that's with me, most of my football players got me in PE or weightlifting. We put our stuff on the bus. We go ahead and get the activity bus outside, and we go ahead and put that stuff on the bus, so we ain't nobody leaving no cleats, helmets, none of that stuff. So yeah, fixing up the water cooler and things of that such. And then after school, man, everybody make sure we grab everything. We ain't left nothing. And we got the ice cooler and stuff filled up. And we get on the bus and go to South Creek for our home games, man. And we meet up with my South Creek boys. They dap each other up, show each other love when we get on campus. And I tell them always stay off your feet. You know, don't be in the gym horse playing with no basketball, none of that. Stay off your feet. And my boys, they get the headset, they go somewhere and chill. And then my parents, I have great parents, they feed them. They come in the auditorium at the South Creek Auditorium, and they feed them. Then we probably watch a game or something like that, you know, to go over some things before the game. And then we have walkthrough in the gym. Cause usually I like doing or we go on the side of the building at South Creek. So then the other team ain't got to look at it, see what we doing. Cause sometimes you can just look at warm-ups and tell what the team gonna do. So we either in the gym, going through it with our socks on the gym floor, just doing walkthrough of what we doing, just brushing up everything, make sure everybody know what they supposed to do. And we suit up, we go out there as a family, we got a pole with our flag on it. And Chance used to lead the way out there, Chance and the other kids used to lead the way. And then we go out there and we get our family circle. And it's Marco, how you feel? We feel good, coach. And we go from there, man. Time to go to war.
And how do the crowd be for y'all since y'all ain't lost a game in 4 years? How do the crowd be?
Crowd be good, man. We got a deep crowd, man. It be middle school football, man. I mean, especially when we at South Creek, the fence be full, parents up there in the stands. I mean, you know, that's what I wanted, man. I wanted this consolidation. I wanted our football program to bring families together, man. You know, because, I mean, like I say, my dad's side from South Creek. You know, Williamston like my home. So, you know, I want everybody to get along. That's what I mean. We want county now. You know, it ain't about where you from, Robinsonville. No, you from Martin County. So, you know, I love the fact that, you know, people come out and support my kids, man. And some people don't even have kids out there. Like, they just want to come support our football program. You know, I met some guys up there in Robinsonville at the gas station. I told them who I was, and they were like, man, we're going to come check y'all games out, man. I had helped the guy fix his battery on his car because his car wouldn't start. and his posts were loose, and I ended up doing it. He was like, "What you do?" He was like, "What you do, man?" I said, I'm a football coach over here at the middle school, Mark Middle. He said, "Man, we're gonna come check y'all out." Other guys start saying, "Yeah, we're gonna come out there and check y'all games out." So sometimes people come out there, man, don't even have kids, man. So it's a blessing, man. It's a blessing.
Anything else you want to add?
Hey, man, I appreciate your streets, man. You always come through for us, man. I appreciate you. Hey, man, continue to keep doing the great work you're doing, man. The people in the community definitely appreciate it. The kids definitely go on Street Not Nations. We share a lot of stuff, man. Kids get a lot of their highlights out there. Hey, man, appreciate you, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Hey, man, like I always say, man, I said last year, year before last, when we played Wilson Prep, I said, you're going worldwide with this thing.
I appreciate
you, man.
Appreciate you, Coach.
Oh, yeah, man.
Help journey what you're doing
okay, man.
for yourself.
Oh, yeah, man. So what I did, I used to coach middle school track. So I didn't coach track this year. I wanted to focus on me. In high school, I always ran and lifted, man. But I just started, when I came back home, got married, I started getting big, man. So this past season, man, basketball, I had got real big. I said, nah, I started getting sick. I noticed I was getting a lot of colds and things of that such. So I set out track this past season to focus on me, man. And I'm close to dropping I done dropped about 35 pounds since, man. And everybody noticed it, man. They were like, man, you slimming down, Coach. So majority of the time, I'm big on intermittent fasting. It helps rebuild your cells and things in your body. I used to do it heavily, then I got off of it, got slack. But if I do eat bad, or let's just say if I go get something from Bojangles, I get like some chicken and something, I'm gonna eat 1 meal a day. And but now if I'm eating healthy that day, I'm gonna eat a salad, then I may eat something else healthy later on. But I told myself if I'm gonna treat myself, you only want 1 meal a day now. So that's how I've been keeping it down. Cause like intermittent fasting, what I love about intermittent fasting is your body taps into ketosis and then start burning fat throughout the day. So let's just say my last meal was at 7:30 last night. I probably won't eat again until about 5 or 4 o'clock. But now I'm in ketosis because once your body get about past 12 hours, it's gonna start tapping into burning fat. So your body can burn two things. Either can burn glycogen, which is like calories and sugar, or it can burn fat. So when you go a long period of time without eating, your body switch over and say, I ain't got enough sugar. Now I'm gonna start burning fat in the body. So that's how I always, people are like, RonDayle, you be slimming down fast when you go on your diet. That's how I slim down fast. It's just like it's just like the keto diet though. But instead of me staying in ketosis the whole time, I'm in ketosis just a certain time of the day. So yeah, man, that's how I've been eating a lot of veggies. And I love vegetables, man. Like, my grandma was a country woman from Hamilton. And grandma and my uncle had the garden right in the yard. So I always loved vegetables. So I pick vegetables over fruit. So I can go to Jersey Mike's and get a sub in a bowl. Jersey Mike, I'm shouting y'all out. So they look out for me when I go in there. You can get what's called a sub in a bowl, where it's no bread, but everything you would get on that sandwich, they put it in a bowl. And you can get, good streets. It's gonna, the sub in the bowl is the regular price, but you get everything you would get on that sub, and they'll put it in the bowl. So like, let's just say if I wanted a BLT, they'll put the lettuce, the onion, the bacon, the tomatoes, all that in a bowl, and you ain't got to touch the bread. So yeah, man, it's been helping me, man. Baking my food, air frying it. So yeah, man.
What's something simple they can do just to stay in shape? Like what's a few workouts?
So like what I tell my boys to do is push-ups, air squats, and calf raises. And what push-ups do, they can help build up your upper body with your triceps and chest. You can, like my son, I make him do like let's just say if a young man can only do 5 push-ups straight, make him do 4 sets of 5. All right. So then with his air squats, let's just say he can do 25 of them straight. So make them do 4 sets of 25 with them. And calf raises, I always make the kids do 4 sets of 25 with calf raises. And each week on air squats, which is goblet squats, and push-ups, you go up a number. So let's just say, I'm gonna give you a rough number. What Bunchy doing right now? My son, he do 4 sets of, right now I think he probably on 4 sets of 19. Each week he go up a number in his rep. So 4 sets of 19 on push-ups, 4 sets of 19 on goblet squats, and he do 4 sets of 25 on his calf raises. That next week he'll go now from 4 sets of 19 to 4 sets of 20. So push-ups, air squat, burpees, calisthenics, pull-ups, sit-ups, that stuff you do right at the park in your yard, man. Like, we got a lot of kids that are real big but don't even lift weights. They do a lot of calisthenics, pull-ups. Most of my boys from up north, they do a lot of that, man. Push-ups. They probably gonna try to do like 1,000 a day, 500 a day, do a lot of pull-up. That stuff will blow you up, man. I'm telling you. So one of the coaches I know, he said his team, they do calisthenics too. So yeah, that stuff is good, man. Staying in shape, sprints in your yard, do some sets of burpees where you run in place, hit the ground, jump up, hit the jumping jack. Yeah, that stuff, man, you can do right in your bedroom, front porch, front yard, backyard, man.
See yourself going from here? I mean, you won those 4 championships. I haven't lost a game. Where do you see yourself going from here?
Yes, ma'am. Just continue to, I could say continue to polish up our pipeline. The biggest thing for me right now is to continue to, the young men here, develop them, not only on the football field, but to develop them in life. Maybe in the near future, I may step up and move up with most of my groups at the high school. But as of right now, I just seeing myself preparing the way for our program, not just for the middle school, but for our high school program as well.
What would you give a coach? What advice would you give a new coach that's just starting out?
Just do what you're good at. Be a student of the game. Be a sponge. Always trying to find your ways. Stay humble and take heed to what coaches tell you. Now, you always can't listen to everybody, but the great aspect and a great thing I could give you is just, pray to God and ask him to put you in the right place and to put you in the right pathway with great people that don't mind teaching you. And just being a sponge, always learning, going to clinics, using online resources, things of that such. But just always trying to find ways to be better. Never get settled in being, stagnant and, becoming restless in what you're doing. Always keep your energy hot and fiery and keep pushing to be greater and elevate yourselves and not fall under a building or, should I say, a program that have a glass ceiling.
Okay. What would you attribute your current successes to?
Oh, my village. First and foremost, God. I prayed for this. I sought God for what I'm doing now. And not only God, but the people that he has placed in my life, the mentors. It's a lot of coaches that have been a great asset to my life. And I never can take credit, They took out time to take me under their wing and to teach me. So a lot of the coaches that have paved the way, Coach Racine McGill, Coach Jim Bob, Coach Tice, Coach Herbie Rogers, and there was a lot of coaches that I have never met before in person, but have also helped me along the way online. So yes, ma'am, a lot of great people helped shape me.
What's your favorite offense? What's your favorite defense?
So basically my favorite offense always been ground and pound. If it's dealing with something with wing tees, single wing, double wing, those were my babies. And I just got away from it. I noticed when I came here, my first year we were big, but my second year we wasn't that big. But we had some scat kids, we had some athletic kids in Williamston that could move. So, like I said, now I enjoy throwing a lot of screens and running jet sweep. I'm a gap scheme offense guy. That's me, and gap down backer. That's my style, That gives my undersized lineman an advantage to block at an angle. So we don't do a lot of base blocking. We do sometimes when we run ISO a little bit. We may run ISO just a little bit, not a lot. But yeah, man, my favorite offenses was like the Tarboro T, the Power T, single wing, and double wing. I've always loved pulling linemen and a lot of double teams at the point of attack. That's always been my style, kicking the end and wrapping guards and tackles. So yeah, man, defensively, I'm a big fan of the 3-4 and the 33. I love a nose tackle over the center. I like blowing the center up. I like slanting and stunting my linemen different directions to keep you guessing. So yeah, man, that's my style, man. Anything with a nose, an eye front, that's my style of ball, man. That's me.
And which one you like better between the two, defense or offense?
I don't know, man. The older I get, I start like defense more. I'm gonna tell you something, man.
Wiser.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I don't know. Our first year, we only allowed 8 points all season. My second year, we held teams to 0 points most of the time, but we allowed a little bit more points. But we still was we never had a team to put up over 20 points on us, ever.
In 4 years.
In 4 years, nobody. No game where nobody put up 20 points in a game on us. We never let nobody score over. Let's see, the most that was ever probably scored on us, bro. Let me see. I think Hereford County probably was the only one. Because Chowan, my first year, they only scored 8. The second year, they only scored like 12. The third year, I think they only scored like 12. Yeah, And last season they scored like 12, if I ain't mistaken, because they got 2 touchdowns, but they didn't convert on the 2 point. So yeah, in a game, nobody has ever scored over 20 points on us, man. Or if I want to narrow it down, no one has ever scored over 15 on us. If I keep, matter of fact, let me narrow it down some more. Nobody has ever scored over 14 points in a game on us. That's been a blessing, man, from God. People always talk about how our offense score a lot, but our defense, man, we have been shutting some people down, man. And this past season was a learning curve because we had a lot of guys that we had to learn where to put them at, and we made some changes. I believe, and this is no disrespect to Chowan, if Josiah Staten would have played safety that game, because Nick was missing that game too, they probably would have never got those 2 passes in the air like they did. We was kind of slacking. We were slacking a little bit. They didn't know it, but we were slacking in the secondary, and they scored twice in the air on us. Because we knew up front, Caden, Amari, and E.I. and them were going to shut it down. Briley and them were going to shut down and run, but they start picking on us a little bit in the air. And this past season was the first season where I didn't never have a lot of ball hawks in the secondary. I'm used to having kids that's coming down with the ball. You ain't throwing no touchdown. I mean, we had kids pick off balls all the time. But this was probably the first season ever where we struggled in the secondary. But defensively, man, that's what I love, man. We never had a team score over 13, 14 points on us in a game. We always held everybody under 14 points a game. If so, always.
Yeah, I commend you on what you're doing. Because I was coming, like, I ain't just started coming to the games when you started coaching. I was coming before then, and we weren't winning like, it won't like this.
I understand.
You know what I mean? But people don't go back that far.
Right.
They can't see what you bring to the table.
Yeah.
Because 40 years, it won't happen like this. You go to a game, team might beat us 30-0 or something.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it won't like this.
And I tell people, man, and you know, some people say this too. They were like, well, Floyd, y'all ain't playing competition, or they may say stuff like, it ain't like it used to be. But this is no disrespect to my kids. They don't understand the talent in Martin County middle school football ain't like it used to be. When y'all was in middle school,
they were crazy. Dude.
Y'all had dogs. Not saying no disrespect to my boys now.
I can name some of them.
But let me tell you something. The Williamston Middle School and RonDayle Middle School.
Yeah.
Street. What if we would have did this back in the day when y'all was in middle school with RonDayle all on the same team? We would have had 2 teams that would still beat other schools.
Think about Mike Horner, BJ and them group. He would have added Tremaine Goddard. That's what people don't realize, Streets. People say, we went Floyd. And Chowan's still good, and Washington County and them still good. But they don't understand. Even when we get out the bus, Streets, most teams are bigger than us, man. Yeah. This last group I had was probably one of the biggest group country boys I had. But people don't understand the talent in Williamston. Man, Coach McGill called me one day. He said, Floyd, he said, I commend you, man. I ain't know what Coach McGill was talking about. I ain't know what he was talking about. What you mean, Coach? He said, man, football in Martin County ain't good like it used to be. Man. He told me straight up. He said, Martin County football ain't good. He said, I'm telling you, Floyd, I commend you, man. He said, back when you had the twins, Jay Cofield, Derek Everett. Yeah, it was crazy.
And you had the talent at Robinsonville, man.
I think back to the middle school group. Like I said, I was in 7th grade, but the Desmond Mercer,
he was fast,
Chelsea
man.
Perry, the Jamel Moore, the Matt Howes, Jay Andrews.
And them boys played football.
Noopy.
They don't understand, man. Boy, if I had Mel in that middle school group, man. And so I'm fortunate to coach Jamel's sons, Pete and Jay.
Yeah, you got some.
You know what I'm saying? But you could tell that they had that old Williamston Tiger in them by their style of playing, man.
Yeah, that be one thing though, right there. You could tell who played at Williamston.
Yes.
You know, you could tell their kids.
By their kids, man. Yeah. Like DeJuan, his daddy Peanut was a star of Williamston Tiger football and basketball. You can tell the kids that came from the Williamston Tigers.
Yeah, because they instill it in their kids.
Yep. So man, I often brag about y'all, man. I said, let me tell y'all something now.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I said, y'all, we good. We been blessed. We won some championship. Yeah. But back in the day, Williamston Tigers, middle school, football, man, Sharks, man, Antonio Tip, man, DeBron Hudges.
Yeah, like even like I said, go back to Nate's interview, man. He was just talking about how the little kids used to want to play for RonDayle, want to play for Williamston.
At the game, you'd be at the game playing football behind the visitor side. Right. Yeah, playing street football.
They had that pride, and like you said earlier, they proud to play for you. Yeah, they proud to play for you now, and so we need to get the high school back. Well, they need to get the high school back to that level when And it can happen though.
It can.
It definitely can happen, and it probably will.
It will, man.
It probably will.
It will.
I mean, cause like you said, it's so many people returning this year.
Yeah,
if
man.
If they could just put in the work on the, outside of school and stuff.
Right.
And not get on the video game.
That's right.
Not want to cut up.
Right.
Go hang out. Go do something positive. Cause like you said, you got them years go by quick. McGill used to always say, if you can party later, you can have fun later. 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, you got to do your thing. You got to do your thing. You could be grown later. You can be grown for a long time, like you were saying earlier. You can have your whole life.
Put that work in
party.
now.
Yeah, put it in now. A lot of kids don't get a chance to even have a future, whether they locked up or things of that nature. Like, is it one thing that you personally could have did different, or is it just one thing you could have wished different? Like, is there anything you think you could have did different, or wish you would have did different? I know you put in your work. I know you do your thing, but I mean, as far as the community though, is everybody have to be on the right page for these kids. It can't just be RonDayle Floyd trying to take that toll on them.
Right.
But is there anything you wish you could have did different for like a kid that may got locked up or killed or anything, a young kid?
Right, man. Yeah, most definitely, man. Sometimes, man, and I'm pretty sure you know about the situation that probably happened a while back. Sometimes I probably wished I could have talked more in that car, or talked longer on that phone call, or extended that conversation when we text each other. Sometimes you don't know what's on a child's mind, man. That's why I say, man, I wish we had so many things that, like for example, man, Robinsonville, they used to have open gym. Coach Pittman would have open gym and let the kids come in and run, play ball. Like, we got the facilities on this side of the county to do stuff like that, man. I believe it would have kept a lot of kids out of trouble, man. You don't know, man, that basketball, man, football, that ball keep a lot of kids from a lot of negative, wasted time, man. It really helps them. So sometimes I wish I could have, said more, in certain situations. I know, like you said, it can't just be all Coach Floyd. That whole tool can't be on me, man. But, at the end of the day, man, when kids now, with so much that have happened, I try to make sure I'm paying attention to this conversation. I'm really getting this kid my undivided attention, because you don't know what's on that kid's mind or what he might do next. You know what I'm saying? And when they get behind them balls, it's hard to get it from back there. I tell kids all the time, it's kids that have been to Riverside Middle School. This school opened up in 2011. There has been kids that have, been locked up or may have died, that have walked these hallways. I let my kids know how real it is. You got to keep it real with them, man, because it's easy to get on the wrong car. It's easy to go with the wrong friends and get in something. It's easy to let somebody put you in a situation where dude, this ain't right. So, I wish I could have said and been more who I am now then. I've always been Coach Floyd. I've always been having the Lord, but as years do get better, I progress and I do more things now than I did in my back. Because you learn and you live. So yeah, man, it's some things I wish I could have done better than I've done before. Not saying that the things I did in the past was negative. It's just, you learn as you live, man. So yeah, man, it's some things I wish I could have done better.
And also, I like that. And so just in the general, for all the kids that may be going through something, especially if they locked up or anything in general, what would you say to that kid, like, especially if they like 14 and 13 or something? Like, what would you say a kid that may be facing a lot of things or be going through a lot of things and they don't really have nobody to really talk to or whatnot? Like, what kind of what words would you give? What words would you give?
Hey, man, just keep your head up. Hey, just keep striving. Time is time and life is life, man. But just stay focused. Just continue to, I know I'm gonna say this straight. It blessed my heart. One of my students had wrote me a note, and she said, "Coach Floyd, I thank you for always being that role model for us." And she said, "Coach Floyd, I know when you need strength, you turn to the Lord." And that blessed my heart, man. Even a child knew that. So my biggest thing, man, if you ever want to talk, hey, he's gonna put my handle up here. Hey, my name to reach out on Facebook is Jet Sweep Counter. My coaching name on Twitter It's Coach Floyd 252. If you ever want to talk, you ever want to reach out, you can reach out to me, send me a message. I'm here to talk, but keep your head up, stay strong. Remember, you got people that do love you. You got people that's dependent on you. They do good in life. So always hold on to that, but let the people know. I just want to let you know that, man. Hey, some people that's really dependent on you. Hey, you may be in a sticky, bad situation right now. Hey, just ride that wave out. And when you get that opportunity to be a great person again, and which you are still a great person, but when you get out in society, hey, that opportunity is still there where you can make some change in life. Never give up on yourself. Life is all about second chances. God gave me a second chance. No matter what your circumstance may be, it's always room for improvement. And some of us, like I said before, some of us has made bad decisions. We just never got caught, So, just keep striving, keep your head up, keep pushing, and keep leaning to your strength. And I know the good Lord will lead you in the right direction. Yeah.
Who are some of your best running backs you've seen, or best players? Matter of fact, some of your best Williamston players that you can think of. Like, go, just name a few so you can give a little briefing on them.
All right, so if I'm just doing Williamston Tigers,
start over with that. Yeah, talk to me, so I'm gonna add this to the documentary.
So if I'm going with Williamston Tigers, some of the best people I've seen to come through Williamston, I gotta go with Jamel Moore, who was very shifty. Now his senior year, the record might not explain what they did, but he was still a good running back. That group was a junior heavy group who came back another year, which was my group, Jay Cofield and them. But Jamel could go now. Also Eric Goss. I still remember Eric Goss. I was a freshman. He was a senior. Eric Goss could go. I used to come check out the games. And Eric Goss, he was athletic. He played basketball, but football was his thing. He was good in track too now. But Eric Goss can take one to the house now.
Nah, I seen it. I played with him. Yeah.
Eric can take one to the house. I'm gonna tell you somebody else. Look, Cedric Moody. Moody could go, Jack. I think one night, man, against Roanoke, man, she scored like 6 touchdowns. It's on YouTube. Your channel.
I think.
Yeah. Hey, Moody could go, and he was one of those shifty, feisty little running backs, man. He got a nephew that's gonna be good too, Donald Smallwood. That's his nephew. He's gonna be good too. His Zaija, I won't say it right, 'cause I messed up her name not so long ago. His niece, she played basketball at Martin County High. Moody, she gonna be good too. Yeah, man.
Moody was tough.
Moody was tough. He played basketball too. My wife's cousin, Kareem Bell.
Yeah, he was tough.
Bell could go too now. He scored 2 touchdowns in the state championship. I was at that game.
So they only had 14?
I think against Mount Airy. They was up 14-0. And yeah, man, the game shifted, man. I was at that game. I was a freshman in college. And he scored only 2 touchdowns, and Emory threw it to him. Lil Kenny, my white cousin, he could go too. He was fast. Tremaine McGee, my Uncle Willie little cousin, he was fast too, man. Let me see, Tonio Tillman, DeBron Hudges. I was young when DeBron was in school. I'm gonna tell you why I missed a lot of the DeBron stuff. Because when we were young at Williamston game, we played football in the back. I was like 10 years old in 99, so I was born 89, so I was like 10, so I wasn't really paying attention to the games like that. But he was the man. Now, when I saw on the high school highlights, you should see DeBron up there, and I never forget him saying, "Wherever we go, it's our house." I still remember him saying that when the cameraman interviewed him. He was like, "Everywhere we go, it's our house." But DeBron could back them words up though. But DeBron, he could go, man. We also had some talent. Tonio Tillman, EC, wide receiver, JJ House. Yeah, we also had some athletic guys, man. So yeah, I can still. It amazes me. I remember the times when I was actually sitting in the stands and watching, versus being young and playing on the sidelines and stuff like that. But yeah, man. Jay Cofield was good. Eric Smith. Yeah, man. We also had some talent, man. Y'all always had some talent. Y'all group were always loaded, man. Matt Howe. I think I got to see Matt Howe's son, but I was in high school then though, and that was like 04, 05. But Desmond Mercer. Andre Cord, Dontarian Trapp. Remember he transferred from Janesville? He was good too. Y'all had some dogs right here now.
Yeah, you hit most of them. What about Roanoke?
Oh yeah, that's where my dad and them side from. They went to Roanoke. So you got Tremaine Goddard, man. You got the OG. I mean, you got Baker. Baker could go too now. Donnie Keefer running that single wing one year, then he'd run the spread one year. Donnie Keefer was a legend around there, man. So I think Gerald Edwards' son. So RonDayle had some dogs. I had 2 cousins that played for RonDayle, but they was girls, Imani Jones and my cousin Lavassier Taylor, and my cousin June played. Then my other cousin, Alonzo Higgs, he played.
Yeah, you talk about basketball and everything.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. So my cousin Alonzo, he was good in basketball and football. Savion Hudson, Kendrick Baker. It was a lot of them guys that could go, man. Yeah, they was special, man. Mark County always had some talent, man. Hey, them rivalries back then from basketball. I remember one year I was the last one to get in the game at RonDayle for basketball, man. Yes, the only reason why I got in, because my little cousin said, there go my brother. And they were with me. I was the last one to get in the game. That's why I tell my kids now, my students, I said, y'all missed the good rivalries. I said, when the rivalry with RonDayle Williamston, man.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Man, what? I didn't even want to go to that game and watch it. I wanted to come down here.
You couldn't even get through the lobby.
Man, packed.
You couldn't get to the lobby.
Packed. I'm talking about ran out of room.
Yeah.
We ain't got no more room.
And far as players, like I remember like a Deborah Cherry, people like that. Everybody basically. Because even she was so good, but everybody in the county was good. Right. So it was like nobody really stood out.
Yeah, because it was so
at that point. You had to look back to say, oh yeah, she was great. So
one time the football teams, both of them were ranked in the top 10 in the state in 1A.
Yeah,
Williamston and RonDayle.
Yeah.
I mean, that's power, man, one county. So that's why I know we got the talent here. We just got to keep it. Got to keep it.
Best describe your coaching style.
I'm also aggressive. I'm aggressive at my play calling. I'm aggressive on defense. I like to send them. So I'm very aggressive on offense. I like to try to run the ball down your throat. I might go forward on 4th down. So my play style as a coach, my coaching style, should I say, is aggressive. Very aggressive. But I also want to be wise and smart with my decisions we make. I've seen times where we was 4th down and some change, and I threw a fade and scored a touchdown. I mean, we go for it. So my play style is aggressive, coaching style. This was a great asset to our weight room. Coach Willer gave us this. Shout out to HTM. He ordered one and they sent him 4. So this is what we're using to help motivate the kids. We made some adjustments because they're not high school. Most of the kids wasn't the weight of the high school. So we're going to have an all-time leader for our 100, from 100 to 119, from 120 to 139, from 140 to 159, and so on down. We're going to have like the all-time and current leaders for bench, squat, hang clean, 40 time, vertical jump, and shuttle time. So this was a great asset to our weight room to help push and motivate the kids. This was something that's going to be on the wall, man, as long as their records stand. It's going to stay like this forever, man, until they probably graduate high school if somebody can beat it. But the goal is to continue to get stronger and better each year based off our measurements and what we use as percentages. I'm excited. This was a great piece to our weight room. Shout out to Coach Willie at the high school, our high school football coach, for blessing us with this Gator strength. Shout out to HTM. We can go get your shirts. They also made my hat. I had an idea. They got it for me. Even the back of it, they put the Gator on the back. Shout out to Miss Sturgill and them at HTM, always looking out, get me right. And on this back wall here, where that big blue space is at, we're going to put another dry erase board up there with our clubs. If you look at our board here, we got a white Gator, you got a black Gator, you got an orange Gator, you got a teal Gator, and we got an ultimate Gator. Now, we got more white Gators than this, but most of the kids were like, Coach Floyd, I don't even want to be a white Gator. I'm just going to push. Don't even put my name on the board. Just wait till I become a black Gator because they wanted to push themselves. But yes, we got the white, black, orange, teal, and ultimate Gator. In order to be an ultimate Gator, you got to at least meet the bare minimums of benching 230, squatting 350, and hang cleaning 220. As of right now, we got the most kids are hang cleaning 190. That's Craig, Amari Bass Knight, and Caden Bland. I'm proud of those kids, especially Amari Bass Knight, from a kid that could only do like 135, but he came back, banged out 190, man. So, yeah, our weight room is coming together. Very much improvement. We're going to definitely put our plaques on the wall. We're going to add some more pictures and logos to the weight room. So, yeah, man, I'm just blessed. Everything is moving forward with the racks. Like I said earlier, Coach Jinx blessed us with the 2 racks right here came from the high school. And then we end up getting these 2 racks here through Monies. As you see, we got some new weights. Some of the weights are lighter. Those are our new ones, some rubber plates, new dumbbells. So it's just, man, it's just coming together, man. I'm thankful, man. we're starting to get all we need, man. Probably got some treadmills on the way too. So yeah, man, I'm thankful, man. Thankful.
How did it change? How everything done
Man,
changed?
this room was actually a classroom. But when they first built the school, this was the weight room. They had bought some equipment, but over the years, I guess stuff got missing, the machines broke, and I'll never forget, me and Hank, we started taking the old stuff and moving it out, but they had actually turned this into like a big classroom. And I'll never forget, Coach Jinx gave me the 2 racks, the 2 black racks at the high school, because our high school had like 13 racks. They were blessed, man. They had so many racks at the high school, so he gave me 2. And then we had Mr. Roy Lilly, who was a community guy. He got in touch with some people who donated money to, they donate money to Martin County schools, such as like Martin County High, South Creek Middle, Riverside Middle, anything dealing with Martin County, our in-district schools. They donated like close to $5,000, man, to help us buy weights, the extra 2 racks, and a few other pieces that we needed. And also, man, shout out to Miss Rush and Miss Hanson and them, getting us money to get more dumbbells, to get more rubber plates, to get more clamps, chalk bowls, and a few more things. And then also shout out to Miss Raina Beach for always coming through for our program, because we also partner with her program during the summer for the SCORE program. So she also blessed us with our dumbbell rack, our kettlebell hangers. She gave us some more things of that such, man. So it's a lot of people that support this program. She also gave us some more parachute running, some more ladders for speed work. We also got parents. My boy Jock gave us, not so long ago, he gave us a weight sled for our sprinters. So, man, some people always donate to our program, man, to bless our program. So right now, I'm just waiting on that donor that's want to bless us with our new uniforms. Somebody out there. But Coach Horn is doing a great job working on that. But if y'all want to bless us with some more money for our football program, we ain't turning down nothing. So, but yeah, man, from day one, this was just a classroom. It was basically nothing in it. Also, Miss Raina donated those medicine balls. But yeah, man, it was just a classroom. We took out everything and moved it. And now, if you know, when you look around, we got barbells and plates and everything in here. So yeah, it wasn't nothing in here, man. But it was just a classroom. And so our plaques, they start up here, and we got more. A lot of the plaques ain't hung up on the walls, as you can see in the weight room. I got my football plaques, but we got some track plaques too, because our girls had won the conference championship. But yeah, man, these are from way back when. Some of them, softball, baseball, soccer. Man, we have been putting up plaques in the school, man. It's been blessed. We got a lot of plaques that's still in some offices. They ain't even been put up yet, man. So this wall really could be full, man. But we just ain't put everything up. I think even right here, I think this one they first won that. I think they were tied for first for football there. But they had made some great accomplishments, man. I taken up from Coach James. I taken up from Coach Neal and them, man. Hey, you always got to give heritage to the people. They started things off, and really Coach Peterson started it off, but you know, they came and took over and worked things out good. This was another year, I think in 17, they were like runner-up. But shout out to those guys, man, for holding it down, man. You always give homage and pay homage to those guys, man. But yeah, that's another one of our traditional boosts, showing forth the legacy, man. But our girls softball powerhouses, man. Our softball team is good this year. They're young. I think they only got like 3 8th graders on the softball team, two 7th grade, and the rest of them 6th grade. So they're getting things back how it's supposed to be, man. We coming. Martin County getting better. I said, Mark, on your feet. Mark, on your feet. I said, who else? Who else? Who else?